Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the C Podcast. As always, I am one of your hosts, Shogun Shin, and I am joined by my co-host, Hex Ginkgo. Now, today, Hex apparently has a lot of things to talk about, but there are two. There's one. No, actually, no. Never mind. I don't have anything. Hex, you take it away. It's all you. This is your episode. You go for it.
Oh God, wait. No, okay, cool. I thought my audio wasn't coming through. Okay, so, hey, everyone. Wow, I don't... Man, you usually have something to start us off with, and then I can usually segue us into something else.
This was your... Okay, fine. Here, I got something. So I have, for the past probably at least month or so, I have been helping my family out in taking care of my grandparents. Back in early February, I think, something like that. My grandma actually, she fell and fractured a hip. She had surgery. She's doing much better. Everything's fine. But I am helping my family out and taking care of things around the house, and stuff like that. And I found out, yesterday that apparently there is a small infestation of ants in my grandparents' house. And this is not a new thing, because this is apparently, according to my oldest uncle, who lives with my grandparents now, before he goes off on a potential Buddhist retreat, which is a whole other separate issue. Apparently, this infestation has been around for at least a whole year.
That's gross.
Yeah, and this, well, it's like, I say infestation, it's kind of dramatic, but like, I just see ants everywhere. Like, my grandparents have this sunroom that has like a bunch of plants in it, and we found like a bunch of carpenter ants there, and then like in the kitchen, near the sink and the refrigerator, I guess my mom and my aunt found, like, a whole trail of ants just doing their thing, doing the whole, like, conga line that ants do. And apparently this has been a thing for a whole year at the bare minimum. And when we asked my uncle, what does he do to take care of them? Because my uncle doesn't like to kill insects. He likes to catch them and put them back outside. My uncle's, the solution, holy shit. Okay, you've sent me a bunch of stuff. We'll get to that. My uncle's solution was to just get a vacuum and then vacuum them up and then just release them outside. And that was his solution that he's been doing since last year, apparently. And I don't know. I'm just like, at no point did we ever consider, why are the ants getting into the house? At no point did we ever stop and consider this question, because apparently not. So, I bought pesticides today, and I sprayed my grandparents' house, so that was a thing that I did. So, that was fun.
I don't know how to segue that.
so Hex, You told me, so that was my day, but Hex, you told me something, probably like at least 2 or 3 days ago, that you wanted to save specifically for the podcast.
Yeah.
And I am very, very interested because you didn't give me any context. You just told me, because I'm gonna reveal it, obviously.
Yeah.
But Hex messaged me, and he said that Dan Slott blocked me on Twitter. And at first I was like, I don't know who that is. But then I remembered that we had just talked about him, like not too long ago.
No, we've actually talked about him before.
Yeah, and like we talked about him. I think we talked about him on the podcast too.
Yep.
And so I was like, wait a minute, isn't he is the guy who writes a bunch of comics. I'm like, oh shit.
Yes.
So please inform me what the fuck happened.
Okay, so I will bring up my slideshow.
Oh God.
And I sent you...
You sent me a bunch of images.
I sent you a bunch of images. So, which
I guess I will show these as well, I suppose.
This all comes from watching Justice League. And I had just watched Justice League, and I'm gonna have to keep the slideshow is going on its own. It's really frustrating. So his first tweet is Batman threatening anyone with the F word doesn't make him tougher, it makes him weaker. And I was like, that's a dumb thing to say.
Is that what you said, like verbatim? No, so or
what I said verbatim.
You can't see these because you got blocked. So I'm pretty sure Twitter deletes these. I think when you block.
No, they don't. They just can't be viewed. Crap.
All right, I put these in a separate window so I can share these with everybody.
Oh no. Yeah, okay, you can't actually see what I wrote, but I have a screenshot on my phone. So give me give me half a
If you
sec.
have a screenshot on your phone, send it to me in the Discord app on your phone.
I will.
All right, do that.
Okay.
But here's Dan's original tweet right here that I've put up that you sent me. I just now noticed that these images that you sent me are all titled Exhibit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's 6?
Yeah. I don't know where 6 went.
Okay. All right. All right. So then, so I'll try to put these in order. So yeah, Dan Slott's original tweet, which is Batman threatening anyone with the F word doesn't make him tougher, it makes him weaker.
Yes.
And then you said...
I responded with, you'd write the character spinning in circles for years like you did with Spidey. Building Pete up to have his own company was amazing, made him stronger. Tearing it down for nothing made him weaker. Let them move forward, referring to superheroes.
Yeah.
You should know about alternate versions of characters. And the reason that I said that was because of another tweet of his I saw. Which
is that
said,
Exhibit 2?
That's Exhibit 2.
Okay.
One of the biggest gimmies I let the Snyder Cut have going in. I told myself, these aren't Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc. There's Zack Snyder's personal interpretations of those characters. It's an alternate universe and valid in the same way Injustice or Superman Red Son are. And I was like, hold on a second. I've read Injustice, and I've read Red Son Superman. Both of those are examples of extreme versions of characters. And if he's saying that an extreme version of a character... Okay, let me back up. You haven't seen Justice League.
I have. I have seen Justice League.
You have?
I have not seen the Snyder Cut that just came out a few days ago.
Okay,
but
that's specifically what this is referring to.
Yeah, I have seen Justice League, though. I did watch it. It was okay.
There's a spoiler warning here's a spoiler warning for the end of the Snyder Cut. There is a scene at the very end.
Okay.
It is a possible future for the Justice League movies. We don't even know if this is real. It is a dream sequence akin to Injustice, where an evil version of Superman exists, and there's only 4 other people alive. Deathstroke, Mira, Batman, and Cyborg and the Joker. So 5. I was wrong. Mm-hmm. There is the scene where he talks to the Joker, and the Joker kind of goads him on.
Who talks to the Joker?
Batman.
Okay.
Because the Joker is talking, or Mira kind of gets in Bruce's face and is like, who have you ever loved? And the Joker's like, a mother, a father, an adopted son. And in Zack Snyder's universe, it is implied that the Joker is the one who killed Robin. So it's a very personal attack on Batman. Just saying this alone. And he makes that apparent. And he goes on to say something along the lines of, as I was holding Harley Quinn and her like bleeding, broken, dying body, she made me promise her one thing, that I would kill you. And believe me, I will fucking kill you. That's what he said. Okay. That is what Dan Slott had a problem with. In this dystopian universe, in a dream sequence of an R-rated movie, in an alternate universe that is not canonically tied to the regular actual DC characters, he doesn't like the fact that Batman swears because it makes him weaker, not tougher. In this scenario, Batman has had everything taken from him.
Yeah, like
this is also a much darker version of Batman.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the version
anyone.
of Batman in Justice League is not supposed to be like,
pretty dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. You know, like, he's old. Like he's not old.
He's been around
like,
for 20 years.
Yeah, like
this Batman has existed
around.
in this universe for 20 years.
Yeah.
So, and like I will say like. Just having him swear in an R-rated movie, like, sure, you expect that. But, like, criticizing him for swearing at all as Batman is weird. Criticizing him for swearing at the Joker for what he said makes zero sense. And so, to bring it back to around to what I was talking about before, I've read Injustice, and I've read Red Sun. Mm-hmm. And I recalled... The Injustice Batman was also incredibly dark. It's what I'm assuming Zack Snyder took a lot of references from, because this dystopian universe that he has had 2 dream sequences about, one in Dawn of Superman and 2 in Justice League, or at least Zack Snyder's Justice League. In Dawn of Justice, there is a Superman police force. And that is where everybody saw Batman gunning people down, and everybody had a problem with that. Again, dystopian universe, very akin to to Injustice. And in Justice League, the Snyder Cut, it's an evil Superman who's trying to kill Batman.
Right.
Very akin to Injustice.
Yes.
So I went through all of my Injustice comics, and I couldn't find an instance of Batman swearing. He did some really dark stuff. He almost killed people. Now,
question. Just because I've never read the comics, did Dan Slott write Injustice?
No, he hasn't written anything for DC in like 15 years.
Okay.
I think he has written for Batman, very few issues. He's mostly a Marvel writer.
Okay.
He's written for Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four, most notably Spider-Man, which is why I put that forward.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's the run of his that I read.
Okay.
Then I stumbled across this image from the Injustice 2 comics, and you can say what you want about it being Injustice 2. Yeah. You can say what you want about Injustice 2 not being the same as Injustice 1. It's still the same Batman. It might be a different writer, but it's still the same Batman in the same universe. In this, Batman is in a giant mech suit. And he is taking down Zod. He says, "This is a sample I took, created by 2 madmen. It's a kryptonite gas mixed with fear toxin. I could never use it on a Clark, not after what it made him do. But you killed one of my boys. You should be afraid of me, because I'm going to fuck you up." Now, it doesn't actually say the word fuck.
But it is heavily
all
implied.
Asterisks.
It's very,
but what else
very
are you?
heavily
I'm going
implied.
to shit you up. I'm going to ass you. No.
I'm going to
fuck you
fudge you up so hard.
No, there's only 4 asterisks, so even ass doesn't work.
I am going to fail you up so hard.
There you go. Yeah, no. This is a direct reference that like, this contradicts that point. Granted, it's not his writing. And basically all of this was to bring out, it seems a little hypocritical, because Dan Slott also wrote the Spider-Verse event, which inspired the Miles Morales Spider-Verse movie. Spider-Verse was an event in Marvel that happened, I think, in like 2012-ish, where he's like, you know what? I'm going to take every Spider-Man that has ever existed, and I'm going to make them fight a group of people who are trying to take out all these Spider-Men. In this, and this is why I referenced, I made the quote of, you should know about alternate characters. He created a Spider-Man called Assassin Spider-Man. This Spider-Man used guns to kill people. This is the complete antithesis to what Spider-Man is about. He doesn't like guns. He doesn't like to kill people. It doesn't mean that he hasn't done it before, but it's not part of his character. It's not something that makes him stronger. It makes him weaker. Granted, these are alternate versions of characters. They're flawed. But he doesn't... I have gone through some of his other tweets, and he doesn't ever really state that, like, oh yeah, well, it's just not my Batman, you know? Like, that's all he ever says. That's not the way I interpret Batman, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But criticizing somebody else for interpreting it in their way and not acknowledging that you have interpreted Spider-Man in a different way, or in a similar way, seems a little hypocritical.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. I'm with you so far.
All right. So go to Exhibit 4. So his original tweet kind of blew up, right? It's kind of expected.
Yeah.
He then put out why, or in quotes, why do you think a character cursing is bad? Right. He says, I don't. Some actors and their characters make it downright lyrical. Samuel L. Jackson, George Carlin, Lenny Bruce are prime examples. I only have actually heard Samuel L. Jackson, but there are many other examples, obviously. Yeah. I just don't think it's in Batman's nature to curse. Ever. He doesn't have to. He's Batman. I think that there is some level, some degree of like, yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that sentiment. He doesn't have to. He's Batman. But he can.
Right.
Because he's Batman. There's nothing saying...
He can do and say whatever he wants, because he's Batman.
Yeah. He wanted him to say, people in my replies are dying on 3 very strange hills. It's not wrong for Batman to, 1, say fucking, 2, use and or brandish guns, 3, kill. I understand there are outliers in the 80 years of Batman comics where these things have happened, but there's a reason they're outliers. Now, he's not wrong. And I'm bringing all of this up because I want to show 2 sides of this. It's like, this isn't a personal attack, and I do agree with him.
I don't know. With him blogging you, it seems pretty personal.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to try and like show like objectivity. Mm-hmm. I just took it as an opportunity to be like, hey, I've read this guy a lot, and I've read a lot of Batman, and I've read the things that he's referencing to, and I watched the movie. So I wanted to come at this like educated.
Sure.
And be like, I can see things from multiple perspectives. I've read a lot of stories where he has brandished guns. I've read stories where he killed people. Those were alternate universes. 9 times out of 10, they were alternate universes. And only in the very early beginnings did he ever use a gun or kill people, because that was a very different Batman. And that's something he references. I don't dispute that at all. He has sworn before in comics. He's called somebody a derogatory term for somebody who has a mental disability. I'm not going to say it. And he said it to Robin, of all people. He has called himself the goddamn Batman. And those are references to a very not popular book, but they do still exist. So saying that he doesn't do it is not entirely correct. He says, this is my take on Batman. It's cool to have your own view on him. This is mine. Even if it's a post-apocalyptic...
Which exhibit is that one?
This is 6, so you don't have this one.
I don't have 6. Aww.
Even if it's a post-apocalyptic world, even if he feels broken inside, as long as there's one life out there to be saved, he's Batman, he keeps his solemn vow, and he's there to get the job done. Exhibit 7. If he's hammering a nail into a wall, he's hammering it for a reason. Not any decorative reason, or else Alfred would be doing it. Batman, the guy who's been trained by the greatest yogis in the world, has a job to do. Even if he hits his thumb, he doesn't have time for the pain. 8. Even if he's alone, he doesn't swear, because he doesn't get anything from it. It doesn't help his mission. If an enemy is near, swearing makes him look weak and fallible. As long as there is one life to save, it doesn't help the mission, so he doesn't do it. 9. For Batman, your silence is far more intimidating than any curse word. That intimidation helps your mission more. So that's the better option. That focus and dedication is who you are. Not swearing isn't an Adam West thing. If you're Batman, it's the best course of action. So I don't entirely agree with those statements, because somebody brought up, like, it's in 12. Somebody said, Batman not cursing has only ever been the result of his character existing under the threat of censorship. An aggressive person with a psychological profile of Batman, going around at night and doing the things he does, they'd probably curse a lot. I agree with that, because Batman, while he has been trained to understand his body mentally and physically beyond normal human levels, he is not infallible.
Right.
He has issues. He has mental problems. You don't go out there every day and do what he does because he's okay on the inside. Even if it's his mission is still misguided and wrong, and he gets people killed. And if he were that person and he had the understanding of, hey, no matter what I do, I still mess up, anyone would be cursing all the time, even if they were as infallible as Dan Slott is seeming to portray that he is. No one character in DC is infallible. The closest you could ever really come to that is Superman. And to a certain degree, that's boring. An infallible character is not an interesting character, more often than not. It's not something that the general people want to see. People want to see someone with flaws because it makes them feel more real and relatable. Batman is incredibly unrelatable because he is beyond peak human perfection. He's a billionaire. He's attractive. He's got all these toys that nobody could ever think to do, with, but he's human, so that makes him relatable. So they give him real human emotions. Real human emotions result in people getting so fed up when you are the last person on Earth and the one person you hate in the world is basically goading you by saying, ha ha, I killed your son, you're gonna swear at that person. You are going to do it. And the idea that you wouldn't do that is just kind of, it's PG. It's boring. It's like, who are you trying to impress by being like, I'm too good to swear in this situation? So, there was one comment that was kind of trying to back him up, and I get where they were coming with it. So it was a comment from I think it was the Justice League New Frontier movie, and Superman and Batman were talking, and it culminates in Batman saying, let's just say I set out to scare criminals, not children. They were using this as a reference to be like, hey, Batman wouldn't swear because he doesn't want to scare kids. My counter to this is the Snyder Cut movie is an R-rated movie. It is not for children. This is an adult movie for adults. You say what you will about it, like superhero movies being rated R, like superheroes are meant for children. This wasn't. So that argument is completely thrown out the window because it's not meant for kids. You can argue that swearing isn't necessary, but in a world where everything has gone to shit and it is a world that is more geared towards adults, don't blame somebody if they swear.
Yeah,
Thank you for blocking me.
I would also
like Dan Slott's writing.
I would like to interject at this too, because the thing about, like, for me in my head, it's not that I could never imagine Batman not swearing.
Hmm?
It's more of just like, if Batman did swear, you would just never hear it. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, and he's sworn in comics before.
Yeah, like, I feel like he would,
I've read a lot
but you
of
would you just simply just wouldn't hear it. He'd either say it to himself, or he would, like, say it in his head, or
yeah,
it would just...
he has a lot of internal monologue.
Yeah,
or
like,
dialogue.
it's like Batman's character, like Batman Bruce Wayne, that character itself is not like... I feel like Dan Slott's idea of Batman, of who Batman is sort of similar to, like, Captain America. Like,
yeah,
like it's, or like a very loose, like, there's a little bit of comparison there where it's like, especially in that,
sure,
like, no swearing, it's like, well, like Captain America, Steve Rogers, he probably wouldn't swear. He's, supposed to be the model.
He's gone out of his way
ideal
to
American citizen,
Yeah, I've seen some instances of him, like, somebody was about to swear and Cap looks at them, they're like, oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
No,
and
no.
I feel like Dan
I don't want to get the shit kicked out of me for saying that.
And I feel like Dan kind of, in his head, it seems like, to him, Captain America and Batman are kind of similar in that regard. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't really think that is, honestly. Like,
I will say Batman is a threatening guy, and he doesn't need to say it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to say the F word.
Yeah.
But saying
not
saying
needing
the F
to
word
and just not doing it are two very different things.
Yeah. He doesn't need to, because he is incredibly intimidating. But saying it and being intimidating, that's also...
Yeah.
That just adds on to the intimidation level.
Yeah.
Like,
I would also say that I don't like I wouldn't agree with Dan's argument of saying that like, Batman threatening anyone with the F word doesn't make him tougher, it makes him weaker. I don't know. I don't think it's a very sound argument in general. Like,
I get where he's coming from.
Sure, yeah, I get where he's coming from. But at the same time, replace Batman with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, even just put it in a more realistic concept. If there was somebody that came up to me, shoved me, and was like, I'm gonna fuck you up, I would be a little intimidated.
Yeah, absolutely. But if they're just like, I'm gonna beat you, like, I mean, like, it's still intimidating, but it's like,
yeah. You're not immediately, and you don't immediately, I feel like the feeling of fight or flight.
If Batman came up to me and said, I'm gonna beat you into the ground, I would be unbelievably intimidated. But if it was just some random guy, I would be less intimidated.
Yeah. And then, honestly, like, personally, I think that if Batman came up to me and said, I'm going to fuck you up, I'd be like, I'm dead. I'm actually dead. I've died already.
Emily brought up the fact that it's just a sentence enhancer. And it is. It is a sentence enhancer.
Yeah. They don't call it colorful language for nothing.
I don't know. It was just all of this. It means nothing. I just thought it was really funny because I have read a lot of Dan Slott's writing, and one of the pictures that I was going to send you didn't end up sending.
Okay.
And it is his entire Spider-Man run. I own all of it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that tweet.
Yeah. Okay. I've read all of it, and I like it. I have nothing against his writing. I do, in hindsight, after going through all of this, think he's a very PG guy, and that's fine. I'm not criticizing his writing. I'm not even like criticizing him as a person. I just thought it was weirdly hypocritical that he would call out somebody for their interpretation of Batman, saying, hey, you can't use the F word, and then he, having previously created a version of Spider-Man that kills people. I just thought it was a little weird. Yeah. And granted, in hindsight, I also don't blame him for blocking me, because I did kind of attack him by being like, hey, you would just write him going around in circles like you did with Pete.
But even still,
he kind of did.
But like, here's the thing about Twitter that I always find really interesting is that like with social media in general, there's an etiquette to things, you know. Like there is an etiquette, and because it's the internet, we can't they're like our intentions and our actions and what we do on the internet differs from person to person. A lot of stuff is up to interpretation. But when it comes to Twitter, I always find it like when someone like if you say something, all right, it's like I tweet something and you reply back to me, like calling me out on something, and I block you. That's to me that's like the equivalent of like a grade schooler just going nuh-uh, and then that's the end of it. Like,
well, that's what Emily was just saying. She's like, what was the point in blocking me? Because he's a famous comic book writer. A lot of people know who he is. And, like, I don't blame him, but it just seemed unnecessary.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
What is my one comment?
And it also, like, it feels like, I mean, I would say that you've won, like, if there was an argument, you've technically won. Because he doesn't, he just shuts you down, like he blocks you, and that's the end of the argument. It's like you didn't offer any sort of like defense for yourself. Like, sure, maybe you don't like, maybe he doesn't have to, but at the same time, like
he doesn't. It was his post.
Sure,
it was
it's his
post. It was my comment on his post.
You walked into his house.
To want that on there.
Dan had a party. You walked into it. You criticized his furniture, and he kicked you out.
Yeah, he's totally within his rights to do that.
But
I'm not criticizing him in doing that. I'm criticizing his reasoning.
Yeah,
very dumb.
I think it would have been nice. I think it would have been nice if maybe he had offered maybe like I don't know, like maybe been like it's funny and then blocked you. But like just like some sort of reply other than just a block. It feels so immature.
The funniest thing is none of this would have happened. Like had he not blocked me, I wouldn't have been like, that's another thing. That's another thing. It's rule number 1 of the internet. You don't feed the trolls. And I wasn't even trying to be a troll.
Yeah, you weren't even trying to be. But the problem is that he fed you, and it's like you.
And it's like I'm a fairly well-read comic person. Like you're gonna say something like that. Like it's just stupid. It's not that it's not like inappropriate. It's not offensive. It's just dumb. You're gonna say something dumb like that about a character that people have a lot of experience with, and then directly reference to very popular instances of alternate universe versions of characters. I didn't even get to the other one. I totally forgot about that. And then expect to not be kind of called out for it.
Yeah.
The other reference that he made, so I was really only talking about Injustice. The other one that he made was referencing Red Sun Superman. There is a version of Batman in that comic. Mm-hmm. He is a terrorist.
Is this the screenshot that you sent me?
Screenshot
59.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is taken from the wiki. It's basically it's just a summary of this character, and I truncated it a little bit. So it says Batman became the most wanted man in the Soviet Union, a constant thorn in the side of Russian authorities. He managed to personally execute a number of acts of terror against Superman's regime and skillfully evaded capture. This Batman is significantly different from the mainstream Earth 1 Batman in a number of ways. He is perfectly willing to kill others for what he sees as the greater good, and even seems to relish in his work. However, it is clear that he truly believes Superman to be evil and felt that he had to be stopped in order for freedom to prevail. So, this is also kind of akin to Injustice because they're two very extreme Supermen. And while that is all really conjecture, because nowhere in the actual book does it say any one of those things because this is just like a biography of a character that appeared one time in a comic. If you read the comic, you do get the feeling, you do get those character traits. So while that it was written by some independent person, somebody who doesn't likely work for DC Comics, nor likely was it the writer, you get it from reading the book. He was a terrorist. He directly and indirectly killed people. He didn't swear, so, you know, he gets the pass there. But it is an alternate universe character that he directly referenced that did things that are out of character for the normal Batman, which he said he would be looking at objectively at this Batman as if they were the Injustice or Red Son Superman. And he clearly didn't do that.
And yet his opinion is very subjective.
Yeah, and his opinion is, that's not how I would write Batman.
Yeah. All right, I want to...
Cool, it wasn't your story.
Yeah, I want to back
there
up to Exhibit 10.
Okay.
So what is this about? What's Exhibit 10 about?
Oh, this is him saying...
Yeah, so this is interpretation of Batman, which, okay, you know, if yours
this
differs,
is his
that's
interpretation.
Cool. Sure, that's fine.
This is his story. This is one of the few stories that he wrote for Batman.
Okay.
And it's saying that he managed to write a version of Batman that intimidated a person without swearing. And first of all, you don't need to pull out your very, very specific example of him doing that, because yeah, Batman does that regularly. Just like cool, like hey, I wrote Batman.
Look at any
whatever.
example, any pop culture example of Batman.
Yeah, like Christian Bale's "swear to me." That's intimidation, and yes, he's not swearing. That's not the argument. It's not. He Batman is intimidating with or without swearing. Yes. My argument was it doesn't make him weaker. It's just what you said is hypocritical. So that's Exhibit 10 and 11 is him just pointing out that he wrote a story for Batman that he intimidates somebody without swearing. I would also like to point out that this Batman story that he wrote is the one that is based on the children's TV show. This isn't even like mainline Batman.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like the canonicity of it.
Yeah. I thought it looked familiar. It was like it reminded me of the animated series.
Yeah, it's based on the this is like Justice League era because it's the long years Batman. So not on top of the fact of it's a comic and it's his writing, it's going to be more PG. It's also the one that's based on a kids show. So it's not even like the arguably darker mainline version. So it's already a slightly watered down version. So using that as an example kind of dilutes your own point. It's not irrelevant. It's just kind of dumb.
Weak. It's weak.
Yeah, it's
a
just
very weak
That's all.
argument, and it's like, okay.
And so, yeah, that's it. I just thought it was hypocritical. Blocking me was really weird.
It was a real
it's
drastic
funny.
Measure. A very
literally
drastic measure.
when it happened, because I posted that like right after. I couldn't sleep very well after I watched the movie because I was like, oh man, I'm like in a good way. I was really excited. I wanted to see how people were reacting to the movie, and I looked on Metacritic, and critically it's at like a 55, but user score it was at a 9, which is really high. Like, and it's not like a 10 people voted on it and it's 9. It's 2,155 people at the time that I looked at it had voted positively, and like 153 voted on it negatively. A user score at a 9 is really, really.
You said you looked at Metacritic, right?
Yes. Okay. That's really uncharacteristic. Or rather, unusual. And so I was like, hey, cool, that's awesome. And then I started checking Twitter because a lot of the people that I follow are in the comics industry, because I want to be in the comics industry. Like, hey, I should like...
Wow. Well, with Dan Slott blocking you, I don't know if that's going to happen, buddy. I don't know if that's happening now.
Believe it or not, it's not, like, regardless of what I'm saying now, it doesn't ruin my life. I just thought it was really funny because I posted that thing once I saw his reaction. I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah. So
like,
currently,
come on, I've seen you before.
Currently on Metacritic, it is a 54 with critics, and it is still a 9 with users at 3,122 ratings.
Now, would I say it is a 9 out of 10 movie? No. Compared to the original, absolutely. If the only 2 superhero movies I ever got were the original Justice League and this Justice League, I would rate it a 9 out of 10. It is wildly better. And you know what? I like the scene where he's like, I will fucking kill you, because you know what? It felt real. It felt like something Batman would actually say to the Joker when the Joker is intentionally goading him for being like, hey, I killed your son. Adopted son, but still.
Yeah. Still a son.
Yeah. So,
all right.
How are you?
You know, I think I'm doing better than you, I feel like.
I when that happened, all I did was laugh. I was just like, oh shit, that's so funny.
Makes sense.
And
I can
in
imagine.
all honesty, it makes me feel a little sad because, again, I do like Dan Slott, and I've read a lot of his comics, and I own a lot of his comics, and it just kind of feels like, hey, fuck you. You know?
It does,
like,
yeah.
No.
It definitely does kind of feel like that.
A little bit.
Yeah, being blocked, it definitely does kind of feel like go fuck yourself. And it's like, all right, tried to have a back and forth here, but I guess that's not gonna happen. That's cool.
I mean, oh god, I also got in an argument with some other stupid people over a comic, and there isn't documentation anymore because they edited their thing, so I don't remember exactly what they said. I won't bring it up. It doesn't matter. Essentially, well, I won't go into super detail. Somebody rated a comic, and they were like, I'm gonna give this a 5. I haven't read it, and I'm not gonna buy it unless it's good, but I just wanted to see how many people like bought comics and rated them without actually reading them, because it seems oddly suspicious that this book has a really high score and nobody actually like wrote a review. And I was like, wait.
Someone tweeted this.
No. It's on a website called comicbookresources.com.
Someone wrote this.
Someone wrote this on a review site that it's like Metacritic for comic books. And their user review was, I haven't read it because I didn't buy it. And I'm assuming because everyone rated this like highly without actually giving an in-depth review that these are all fake. That's essentially what he said. I mean, it's because, and I'm saying essentially because I can't say verbatim what he said because that post is no longer on there. He edited it.
Okay.
It's not I'm not twisting his words. I just don't have the words verbatim.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, that's incredibly hypocritical.
So weird.
Because, like, why would you call other people out for allegedly not reading the book and just giving it a high rating, and then you give it a low rating, and you say,
when you also
hey,
didn't read the book.
Yeah, hey, I didn't read it. And the other part that really bothered me
ridiculous
about his post was, I support comics. I recently pledged $100 for a Red Hood Indiegogo book, and I'm really looking forward to Red Hood and the Samurai or something. Which, two things I didn't know are coming out. I'm very excited for because I really like the Red Hood. It's fucking awesome. I thought I mentioned. I was like, why would you say that? Like, one, you say you support comics, but you're like, I'm not going to buy this. I'm also not gonna buy it unless it's good. And it's like, how would you
and
know
I'm
it's
also
good
gonna
unless
say
you
that
buy
it's
it?
bad, even though I didn't read it.
Yeah. I'm like, you referencing that you spent all this money on Red Hood means nothing, because this is not a Red Hood book. This was a Detective Comics issue.
It's like
it had nothing to do with the Red Hood.
Yeah, it's like, but that's such a weird statement to make. Like, it's such an odd statement to make, because it's like
so weird.
It's like advertising that you
like,
donated to charity. It's like, look,
yeah,
see, I did this. I'm a good person. You should give me an award for doing this. Like,
yeah,
okay, gold star.
Well,
buddy.
It's like, give me the Nobel Peace Prize, but it's like, what else did you do though?
Yeah,
because you didn't actually do anything to earn it. You're like, hey, I did charity for picking up leaves, and it's like, but now I want the Nobel Peace Prize in chemistry. It's like, those are two completely unrelated things.
That reminds me of there was an argument. It's an argument that always resurfaces every once in a while. But it was, somebody tweeted, and it was like, imagine it was this the event that happened was, I think it was like a sexual harassment thing, because it usually is, and someone tweeted out, and it was like, oh, because I think, if I remember correctly, people were like arguing of like, yeah, like, but maybe like he, like, this guy, like, he made it, like, the allegation that he sexually assaulted someone, but like, look at all the women that he's helped, like, further their career, and like, look at all the money that he's donated to charity and stuff like that. It was, I'm making stuff up, but it was basically like this. It was basically that's basically the scenario. And I remember seeing someone tweet out that it was like, imagine rewarding men for doing literally the bare minimum. Like, imagine men being entitled enough to ask for praise and reward for doing literally the bare minimum of work.
I helped a woman across the street. Cool. What else? All right. That's hilarious.
That's just how that sounds like, of like him saying like, I backed this Indiegogo of like, imagine being entitled to be like, to be called be lauded as a hero for supporting a thing that you enjoy. The bare minimum effort.
It's some like, I posted my own review, and I was like, hey, I'm posting this. I said it in my review. I'm posting this just to
was this
counteract.
Was this about the actual book that he?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is about the comic issue that he reviewed.
Okay.
Because I wanted to look at it, because an artist that I really like is doing art for it, and a writer who I've never, as far as I know, have read. But every time I see her name pop up, I'm like, oh, hey, like, this book seems to be really highly rated. Both of those things I said in my review. And I say, I'm writing this in response to this person's really ridiculous review. I went out of my way to buy and read this book, which I was never planning on doing. But because I wanted to support the comic, because he refuses to, I then gave my review. I was like, hey, it's really good. Like, the art is amazing, and the writing is, nice, and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. There was kind of a weird flame war that ended up happening. And it just basically culminated in this guy's friend calling me xenophobic because the original guy was like, well, I don't get the books in print early because he's in a different country.
Okay.
Never once did I even reference that he was in another country.
I don't know how that has to do with anything.
And both of these people are apparently from a different country.
What does that have to do with anything?
Me and somebody else got called xenophobic because we didn't like that they were... I didn't like the original guy's review. That made me xenophobic. And all I said was, wow. What way is this...
So the next thing that you're going to tell me is that he blocked you on Twitter, right?
Yeah. If he blocked me on Twitter, that's fine. I actually found his Twitter because he posted it somewhere, and I was like, oh. And then I checked it, and it's just a bunch of Red Hood stuff, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Good, cool.
Like, cool. The Red Hood is great. He's my favorite member of the Bat family. I think he is the most in the right. But it really just hammered home the, like, why even write this review? Because you clearly don't care about any other character than Red Hood. I looked at some of his other reviews, and every Red Hood book that I saw that he reviewed is like a 10. And I'm like, okay, so this guy is clearly biased. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, there was a guy that you told me about. I think he writes the
reviews.
Guy who has the copy pasta thing for games.
For games, yeah. It's like, if it doesn't
this game
have
has no replayability, it is not worth $60.
Yeah, and it's like, it was like, because I remember you telling me that there was a guy, like, I think it was on Metacritic, that he would write reviews.
It was.
And it was like, he would give them like an automatic 0 if it didn't have like multiplayer or something like that.
Yeah, but if it only had multiplayer,
then it was like
then
a 10.
He would also give it a 0. No, if it didn't have if it didn't have if it was only multiplayer and didn't have a single player, he would have the exact same script. He would just switch the words. This game is multiplayer only. The fact that it does not have a single player means that it is a cash grab. That being a cash grab, I would not recommend paying more than $20 for this. Wait till it goes on sale. I almost verbatim what his wording was, because he loved to use the word cash grab.
Jesus.
It was hilarious. Yeah. He gave Spyro Trilogy a 0 because it has no replayability, because it has no multiplayer.
Jesus.
It's like, it has like a 258% completion, or like, yeah. Well, that's his criticism. If it's a single player game and it doesn't have multiplayer, it has no replayability value.
I love hearing
people are so
hearing
stupid.
Emily interject every once in a while, but because your mic doesn't pick her up all that well, I hear like every other word or like half of a word.
Well, I can usually interpret.
Yeah, it works out fine, but I always just think it's funny to hear it in the background. You know that we're talking about something interesting when Emily interjects in the back.
Right.
Then we've now gotten her attention. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
We're doing our job right.
If I say somebody thought Spyro sucked because it had no replayability, you bet her ears are gonna perk up. Who said what now?
But yeah, no, like that's so like that's such a weird, like, just be like, I hate that sort of. I guess that's really that toxic. I can't say masculinity, but that toxic fan culture that people have, and it's just like, at no point did we, like, as far as I know, obviously, because I don't have all the information. I'm only going off of what you said. But you know,
I like to think of myself as a very objective I try to be as objective as possible, so I'm not in any way trying to paint myself in the best light here. I take responsibility for the way that I seemingly did attack Dan's slot. Yeah. Like, I didn't threaten him in any way.
That was pretty
I just said that his writing.
Honestly speaking, that was pretty shitty of you to attack Dan's slot like that.
How
dare you? How fucking dare you?
Like, as a person who was really excited by his writing and then felt really let down at the end, my attack really just did so much damage to his image. And
you should feel bad.
My attack on this person.
You should feel really guilty about that. Truly.
Yeah, I'll feel guilty when Peter actually is no longer a homeless person because Dan Slott decided to make him a homeless person. That really happened. In case people didn't know.
Jesus.
One of the reasons that I am so adamant about, like, this understanding of mischaracterization is because Dan Slott did this really long run of Spider-Man, and I thought it was really cool because it had like it was this really long build-up. So Spider-Man finally gets like a really good, like an amazing break, and he gets to work at this really cool up and coming tech company, and he like gets to design new gadgets for his suits that he's never had access to because it's all these like it's like a brain trust of really crazy smart people, and then he eventually ends up owning the company, and then he ends up creating his own company called Parker Industries. And at a certain point in time, he got his brain swapped with Dr. Octopus. It was a really awesome story. Nobody liked it.
It was a really awesome story. Nobody liked it.
People were really upset about it. I thought it was fucking awesome.
What an oxymoronic statement.
Right? And then he developed this really cool suit. Nobody liked it because it had lights on it, and I thought it was badass because it was armor, and I was like, that makes sense because Spider-Man has no real protection. Giving him armor is really cool, and he was like more rich than Tony Stark at the time, mostly because Tony Stark lost all his money.
I don't know, man. I'm just starting to think that maybe you just have trash taste.
I just don't want to see Peter Parker. All I want to do is see Peter Parker succeed, and apparently that's not realistic.
How dare you?
How dare I want one of my favorite characters to actually live a good life and feel successful and not have to crash on the couch with his ex-girlfriend that doesn't even like him. Weird, I know.
Weird, yeah, it's super weird. That's such a weird idea. Ugh,
and
gross.
I'm trying to remember why he even took his... He destroyed his company. He essentially bankrupted all of his employees because Hydra, the equivalent of Nazis in Marvel, was attacking his company, and I don't even know why he had to destroy his company. I can't remember. I remember thinking it was dumb.
It was like plot related because I think it was the watches. It was like the Spider-Man watches. There was something about them in the software that it was like doing something. So he basically had to like blow up his entire building physically, and then it was like trash just literally burn everything to stop whatever was happening.
It just but that seems so dumb.
Yeah, but it's like because it was like if I remember correctly, it was like Hydra had orchestrated. Basically, it was like there was like an inside job where like they orchestrated everything so that way Hydra could like do evil things, but then Parker Industries would take the blame for it. And then it was like even though it was revealed that it was all Hydra, Parker Industries still gets blamed because it's like
and everybody ends up hating Peter Parker, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's kind of realistic, honestly. That's pretty
it
realistic
is.
in a dark
because we've
sense.
seen that happen 1,000 times before. It's like, but like his whole thing is like comic books are supposed to be about hope, and it's like, why can't Peter Parker have hope?
There's no hope.
There's no hope for Peter Parker, and it makes me genuinely sad.
It's a circle. It really is a circle. It's like there's hope. And then the roller coaster goes over the hump, and it just goes right back around.
I will say, and to like try and give some objectivity to this, there's a lot of stuff that happens with Spider-Man that is out of the control of the writers because they are extremely picky about what Peter can and can't do in his stories and how long. Like whether or not, if he does manage to do something crazy like get married or have a long-lasting relationship or have kids or be a successful adult, certain parts of that are out of the writer's hands because Marvel will be like, all right, we gotta reset it because everyone knows that Peter Parker's a high schooler from Queens. He's a nerd and no one likes him except he's like 60 years old now. Maybe let him evolve from that.
Yeah, maybe
a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe Batman can swear.
No, Batman's not allowed to swear. Fuck that.
Because Batman has almost been around for 90 years. I feel like he deserves to at least say the F word once.
Heaven forbid, the Batman. You fucking want a swearing Batman in my Christian comic books? Go fuck yourself, you heathen.
You know, the Christian comic books where people make actual deals with the devil.
It's like a reverse psychology of abstinence. If you show the sex, people aren't gonna want to have sex.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no one's gonna want to do that. That looks awesome. No.
No,
It's not awesome.
no,
You'll die of space herpes. Don't do that. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good. It feels amazing. I mean, shit. How do you think you got here? Like, you wouldn't be learning about this if it wasn't fun. Your parents had like 7 of you. Jesus.
Christ alive.
DC has an actual character named Lucifer. He's actually the devil.
Yeah, he's like,
and then Marvel has Mephisto, and he's not the only
also
devil.
The devil.
He's a version. He's an aspect of the devil. There are actually many different versions.
All right. So,
not that this has anything pertaining to the discussion we were having. I just thought it was funny.
All right. So moving on from comics, I do want to talk about media in general because I do remember what I wanted to talk about at the beginning. Actually, really, slightly briefly, just because of I will go on record and say that I am not well versed in this topic. I just found it very, very interesting, and I also just didn't understand it at first. But I watched a very interesting video by Corridor Digital. And if you're not familiar with it,
sweet. Awesome.
They are a YouTube channel that does a lot of VFX like shorts and short movies and stuff like that, and reviews and stuff like that. They're one of the most like popular series right now is VFX Artists React, where they watch like old movies or like new movies of VFX and CGI and like kind of review and talk about them. But they just put out a video not too long ago, and it was about there was a news story of this guy named Beeple. That was his screen name, and he's a well-known VFX artist, I guess, or CGI artist. I don't really know the title, but he's a very well-known digital artist, basically, because he has a series of every day he puts out a new digital artwork, and so he gained a lot of popularity from that. But I guess recently he just sold like a collection of his digital artworks as NFTs for auction, and I think the highest bid was $69 million.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
A lot of artists that I follow, like I will say traditional artists because like comic artists are really against this because it opens the doors for a lot of really scummy, sketchy shit.
Yeah, sure.
Which
but
is what this sounds like.
Yeah, well, actually, it's not. For the video, like again, granted, the video's a little biased because they're friends and stuff like that. But it's actually like from how the video portrayed it, it didn't really seem all too like. It didn't seem sketchy in the slightest. Like it really didn't seem like he was trying to just make a quick cash grab. Like he apparently actually like again. I would more like definitely go watch the video. It's on the Corridor Crew channel on YouTube, I believe. Like definitely go check it out. It's like a 20-minute video, I think. It's very, very fascinating to kind of listen to. But for his NFT, the way he did it, like yes, they have the digital thing. I guess it's very hard. Like they have the digital thing, but I guess people also wanted to make this. Let's make this like a really memorable thing. So I guess like they prototyped it. And I guess all the NFTs that were sold come in like this briefcase basically, and it has, I don't know how practical this is, but apparently it's basically like a digital tablet, and it has the image, and it's encased in like glass basically, and it's got like a certificate of authenticity. It's got what
happens when the battery dies?
Honestly, I was also thinking about that, but I'm like, fuck it, this is really cool, so I don't even care about the logistics. Okay. I'm just gonna allow it. I'm here for the ride. But like it was cool. It was like really interesting, and it's like okay, and each one had like a QR code that you can scan that gives you more information about the piece, about people, about inspiration, blah 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 blah, this and that, like descriptions and stuff like that, which was all really really interesting. But so I want to talk a little bit about NFTs, and I'm going to say right now on record that I am not an expert on NFTs. I just found out what NFTs meant because apparently it stands for something, I just figured out what that was like 4 days ago. So I am not an expert on this. And as far as the environmental ramifications, I don't know jack all about that. I know that apparently it's bad for the environment.
It's really not good
but
for the environment.
I don't get it, so I'm just not gonna touch it just because I
don't know what they're composed of.
I don't want to spread false information. So I'm just like, I don't know what this is. I'm not well versed. I just want to talk about the stuff that I've learned so far and just how I feel about it. So this isn't gonna be like a TED talk. This is going to be like, hey, NFTs, they're a thing. That's interesting. But so we'll start with what NFT stands for. Apparently, NFT is an acronym for a non-fungible token.
Okay, I thought it was okay. Yeah.
And apparently, and I want to stress that it's non-fungible, not fundable, not funnable, funge with a G, fungible, a non-fungible token. And without getting like super into like the details of what an NFT is, the best way that I've kind of seen, and again, I'm only going off of the one video that I saw, just because it does a decent job at kind of explaining it or giving you a very, very boiled down idea of what it is. That way you can at least, it's a good intro of like, if you want to know more, you're more than free to like look up more. If you don't, hey, here's the general idea. But the basic idea that I could come up with was that an NFT is essentially, it's just a collector's item. Like, that's literally all it is. Just in a digital medium. And, like, that's the, like, when I was listening to Corder interviewing people and like them talking about all this stuff and kind of explaining things, that was kind of the takeaway that I got out of it, was that, oh, okay, so it's just, because originally when this whole NFT thing started kind of blowing up more, I was like, this sounds dumb, like this sounds stupid, it sounds like really scummy and like just really like kind of scamish, and it's like, it just seems like it looks like fool's gold to me, or just like or like some sort of break in the system. And so I didn't really understand it, but after watching this video, I was like, okay, I can definitely see how things can get taken advantage of. Like, I can definitely see that. But if you do it correctly, I can see how this one can be very, very profitable, and I can see how like really, really interesting and actually like, I won't say beneficial, but like very helpful, I should say, to artists and stuff like that. But so I guess the way that Beeple explained it is that for him, at least in his case, not all of it, but the artwork that he had put up for auction, I guess he had gone through basically the equivalent of like a stock trading firm or site or whatever. And basically you upload the image or the medium and it gets added to the blockchain. I don't know what blockchain is. I kind of assumed it's like the stock market, but for crypto. That's kind of just how I assumed for it, but I don't. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm just a man that plays video games on the internet. But so, and I guess that, you upload it to this site, it gets added to the blockchain, and that site, basically, all the people who pay attention to the blockchain are then informed, hey, this guy owns this artwork. Like, this is his, and through some weird miracle force, everyone goes, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we agree with that. And it's
which is super weird.
It's such a weird...
That's like the only thing that everybody's like collectively, yeah, sure.
I think it's like and I think
I paid $79 million for this.
I feel like that's like, I think that's why people don't. I think that's one of the hottest issues about NFTs, is that it's just that singular idea of everyone agrees that you own this, and like everyone's okay with it. Like, that's such a in a concept it makes sense, but in a practical concept, it's like Jesus woke up a third time and ran across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a weird
reading about it right
abstract
now.
concept. It's so odd.
It's really weird.
Yeah, but so, anyways, but so, yeah, the whole idea about NFTs is basically it's just a digital collector's item of, like, you have this specific thing, and everyone around you just unanimously agrees, yeah, that's yours. And the moment it is sold, then, you know, the rights to the, I should say specifically, the rights to that specific token get transferred. The copyright doesn't. So, like, you know, if, let's say, Hex, let's say you put out an NFT, all right? You put an NFT for whatever, literally whatever. Let's say it's a comic. You wrote a comic, you put an NFT out for the comic. I bought it for, let's just say it was a really awesome comic. I bought it for like $100,000. All right, congratulations, buddy. You made it into the comic industry. Good job.
Finally,
you did
it.
Took
me a while.
Yeah.
Where's that $100,000? It's not in my bank account yet.
It'll get there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the details.
All right. Yeah.
But so now I own this comic. It is basically now because I own this comic, everyone's like, yeah, I own this comic. It's not Hex's anymore. But that I can't be like, but at the same time, I cannot be like, hey, look, check out this comic that I wrote. I can't do that. So you keep the copyright, but it's basically it's essentially like you just sold me your first edition of your comic. That's essentially what it is. It's just in a digital form. And I think the video briefly touches this, but it's like, what's the difference between this and, you know, someone just taking the image and like from Instagram or Twitter or wherever else you put it? Like, what's the difference between that? And and again, it goes back to the difference is that, you know, if the difference is that everyone will look at you and say like, hey, I have this token. It's like, and everyone will look at you and be like, no, you don't. This person has it. Like, you just have like you just have basically a piece of paper. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Am I the only one that would rather just have the piece of paper?
Yeah, and like, yeah, there is the argument of like, you know, and people even talks about this, like, yeah, and like people you could just go and like take the image off of Instagram. Like, I'm not stopping you from doing that. But it's, you know, it's you side on the argument for NFTs usually sides on, you know, it's people who buy the artwork want to support the artist. They want to be like, you know, it's like the one dude who backed the Red Hood comic. You know, you like a thing and it's like, I want to buy this for myself, and if I can help the artist, then that's a win-win situation. And then hopefully yes,
that's the situation.
Yeah, that's the hope. And I mean, even in a not like scumbag way, but in a more practical business way, you can be like, I like his stuff, I'm gonna buy it, and then hopefully from me buying it, he'll make more stuff, get more popular, and eventually I can sell the thing that I bought for more money. Right. So then it's a win-win-win situation.
What I was reading, it was saying that there's like a trickle down like resale to the original creator as well.
And that's another thing.
I didn't understand how that works.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's that there are residual returns. There is residual returns to it. Like, there is still, I can't say it's royalties because it's not, again, it's not copyright, but it's similar to that, where it's like there's an actual, and they don't go too far into the details of it. Mm-hmm. And so I can only go off of what they mention. But, you know, they do mention that, you know, if someone buys the artwork and then they sell it again, that some of that funding goes back to the original artist. I think it's like a fee or something like that, I think. Yeah. Is how they classify it. Yeah. And it's like, so like hearing more about and so that was like another interesting thing that I thought was like really, really fascinating of like, oh, okay. So I can see why. I understand the hype around NFTs a little bit better. Because originally I thought it was just like a weird I definitely thought it was like a weird like cash grab scam thing of like, because like people were talking about people were talking about like making NFTs, and I'm like, so could I just like steal, like theoretically could I just steal somebody's artwork and then be like, hey, I made this NFT, and I'm like, technically I could, but again it centers around this weird glass bubble of like, I could do that, but the collective mind would be like, that's not yours. That's worthless to us. And it's like, it's such a weird alien concept, but it makes so much sense. And so I just thought
everyone just agrees on the same thing, which is something no one ever does.
Almost next to impossible. And so, but so for me personally, I will say that after watching this video, before watching the video, I was like, NFTs are stupid. I don't get them. I think they're dumb. I think they're kind of a scam. I almost want no part of this. And then watching the video, I'm like, okay, I can see why people are really excited about this, and I can also see the potential benefits of, doing something like this. Especially as an artist, as a content creator, I can see the merit within it. And like, that is really, really cool. Obviously, there is, in all things, there are pros and cons, and there's always going to be a dark side to it. But I had someone tweet out at me. It was actually my one of my mutuals. She tweeted out at me. I'm gonna give me a second to pull up the tweet, because we had an interesting back and forth that I didn't really want to get into, just because like I didn't know much about the subject, so I didn't want to like say things that I was like, oh well, this is wrong and blah 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 blah. So I just kind of left it as is. But so I watched the video, and I tweeted out the video. I tweeted out saying, I've heard a lot of explanations of what NFTs are, and at first I thought they were kind of dumb, but watching this, it makes a lot more sense, and really they're just digital collector editions, which honestly isn't as weird as it sounded. Very it's the same. It's a similar concept, or not similar. It's the same concept, just digitized, as a lot of things are. My mutual replies back to my tweet saying, except it also facilitates theft and also burns through a shit ton of energy, and its value purely based on speculation and whether you can find someone else stupider than you to buy it off you. So it's not so it's not weird. It's just evil for dumb people. In which I read that, and I'm like, okay, the theft part, sure, I get it. The energy part, I'm not well versed enough in that, so I don't really want to argue.
That's what I just looked up. I could actually tell you essentially what it's about.
Yeah, so briefly they talk about like it's basically the same thing as mining Bitcoin, but it like takes more energy, from what I understand.
Yeah. So mining in general, and not physical mining, but mining for digital currency takes a lot of power, meaning literally electricity. So if this article is talking about mining, and specifically Ethereum. Ethereum mining consumes about 26.5 terawatt hours of electricity a year. To put that into perspective, that is nearly as much energy used annually by the entire country of Ireland.
Wow.
So electricity is not an infinitely renewable resource as we know it. We still have to put things into, like, there are still like nuclear reactors are a thing that produce energy. We have, coal is a way that, or coal energy is a way that we use to produce energy to, get electricity. Not everything can be powered by like a dam, like a water dam to help produce electricity, like a lot of places on the West Coast do. So essentially, we're burning more of our electricity just to support people paying exorbitant amounts of money for things that really don't hold any real value. So that's why it's potentially harmless to the planet, because we're burning up real world resources for not real things.
Right, yeah.
So that's, if you ever see anything out there that's being like, NFTs are hurting the planet, it's not just NFTs. Granted, they're just not helping.
But they are a surprisingly good, like, large chunk now for being such a new thing.
Yeah.
But so the thing that I want to talk about here is the idea that what I'm saying is the value is purely based on speculation and whether you can find someone else stupider than you to buy it off you.
I think that's true.
It's true, sure, but I also think that just seems like such a pessimistic way of viewing it, and maybe that's fair. Like, that's a fair idea. But so I replied to that. I replied to that tweet and I said, I wouldn't say it's necessarily evil, or more so. Or like it's more like evil or more so evil than, traditional means. Like, you could easily buy like a 2-cent, like people do this with scalpers, like, as a perfect example. People buy tickets to any sort of sport game and,
or
resell
PS5.
them, or a PS5, and then resell it back for a higher price.
Right.
Like, and that's not necessarily finding people who are stupider, it's just finding that demand. So like, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily evil. The idea, the example that I did is not like, in hindsight, it's not a great comparison, but the example that I put in, was most, if not all, currency is based off of some sort of perceived assumption. So like $1 US dollar equals $1 not because of that's the actual worth, but it's just because we collectively, or the government, I guess, has told you, yes, $1 equals $1, and we just accept that.
I mean, that's like the most basic.
It's a very basic understanding, but that's essentially what it is. You can't go to a store and give someone a quarter. When someone says like, oh, you buy something that's $1, you give someone a quarter. You can't just be like, oh, well, I just gave you $1 right there. You can't do that. It's because we have this idea, we have this general consensus that no, you gave me a quarter, that's a fourth of $1.
I think the idea behind what they were saying is, like, your statement is true in the most basic sense, but when you take the idea of $1 is worth $1 isn't worth $1. $1 is worth
whatever
half a pound or whatever. When you put it in the perspective of the world market, our dollar isn't worth $1. Our dollar is worth less here or there.
That's actually,
and that's where the speculation comes in.
And that's also what I was also wanted to. I couldn't talk about this on Twitter because it's Twitter, and I couldn't say more. But that was also another thing. It's like, with other currencies, we have this with $1 US. In Japan, that can be more or less. In Canada, that can be more or less. We have this different, we have these different ideas of what value and worth is, so it's like, that's not, but in that idea, that concept is not necessarily evil. It's just a very subjective idea. It's just a very subjective concept. And again, my biggest argument is I don't think NFTs are evil in any sort of sense. I think people perceive them as evil, one, because they're very new and it's a very abstract concept, and then also it's also evil because of because it's so new. There are so many ways to exploit the system, or potentially exploit the system.
I think people, especially artists who already have a hard time getting steady work, view this as, well, my job is now basically become an NFT creator or continue what I'm trying to do, because there's this huge boom. So that not only does that mean that the people who are already artists are going to be trying to do this, but people who aren't traditionally artists are going to be trying to jump in on this. And it's just going to make the work of regular or real, or however you want to put it,
More like
traditional artists harder because their work is likely to be less recognized now than just like memers and stuff. And like the idea of, because it's not just like art that is being sold. It's a very subjective term of art because how I first learned about NFTs was Soulja Boy, unfortunately. Because I found out that he sold his tweets as NFTs. It's not just like artwork or CG stuff. It's anything. It's just a collection of words. One of the people in the article that I was reading about NFTs, and one person bought the original tweet by Jack Dorsey of him saying, "Setting up my Twitter."
Wow.
And somebody owns Jack Dorsey's tweet. That's not technically art. It's not anything. It's just him saying, "I'm setting up Twitter." It's like a historical moment, but is it really? It's Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think you and I had talked about it before, because I think I talked to you about the Soulja Boy thing. It might have been one of my coworkers. So if it wasn't you, somebody brought up. Somebody brought up. It's basically like buying a still from a grand opening, like a moment in time of a grand opening of something, and it's cool. It's a first edition thing that you can say you own, but like value waxes and wanes very very fast, especially with stuff like this. So it's dangerous because it's like, artists can make a lot of money.
But I mean, that's
and it can also disappear really fast.
But you have to think about, like, that's the same thing with anything, like not anything, but like the stock market is a great example.
It's a horrible example. I mean, you're right. No, it's a perfect example. It's just horrible.
Right.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah. And it's just like like, of course, like, the value is gonna go, like, it's gonna fluctuate and stuff like that. But like, it's another thing I want to talk about is like with my mutual tweeting replying back to me. It's like, I don't think it's evil for dumb people. I don't think that's necessary yet, because I think the idea that it's evil for dumb people, I think that's such a flash in the pan idea of like, sure, anyone can make an NFT. Anyone could theoretically be could be a potential millionaire, but at the same time, it's the same thing as you're selling anything to anyone. It's like, you have to collectively convince people that the thing that you have is worth something. If you can't convince anybody, like, you're not gonna make anything. So I don't think it's not nearly as much of a cash grab that I think most people think it is, because you do have to be smart about it. You are, like, because you're making a product. You're making, sure, it's a digital product, but you're making a thing. You're making something that you hope has value to it. And again, if you can't give it value, or if if the public does not perceive your thing as valuable, then you've just made a rock. You've made a really pretty rock. The thing there is mostly about, for me, I view these as really dangerous, and that's from the perspective of traditional artists, because, like I said, Soulja Boy sold his tweets. I wouldn't pay I would pay to never look at those tweets. Yeah, but you also have to
somebody values
that. That's your opinion.
And that is entirely subjective.
Somebody wants those.
Somebody does. I can't explain why.
People
want. But unfortunately, some people don't want like traditional art, and that's where this gets scary for artists. Is like again, quote unquote, real artists already have a hard time. Things that are not categorically art are now being sold, as art, it's like, well, it's basically like shitting on all the people who their life's work has been to do something like this and be recognized for it, and now Soulja Boy can get even more rich than he already is for just saying dumb shit.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to I definitely don't want to discredit artists and their struggle or plight.
Yeah,
but I definitely
it's an interesting idea. It's just,
and like
it
yeah.
lends its way for
but I also
unfortunate things.
And that's completely fair. But I do want to be hopeful about this, because like for me it's like it just feels like another avenue for artists, even traditional artists, to profit from their work more, like, and
it's a way.
You just have to be like, the space that we are in now is very, very new, and it's unknown, and there are so many possibilities to it, and you just simply have to be very smart about it, and that's difficult. It's a very difficult concept to kind of wrap your head around sometimes, and it's hard to make such educated decisions on a concept that there isn't a whole lot of information about.
Yeah, it's so new that there aren't laws written about this yet.
Yeah,
and I think that's where a lot of people are coming. I think some people who are either more educated or think they're more educated are like, well, this has the room to be exploited, and absolutely it does. And that might be a more cynical view, but in this day and age, it's a more realistic view.
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion, at least personally, that cynicism is no longer really cynicism. It's just realism. It's understanding how the world works. And like, I like to be optimistic, but being realistic is safe. It's safer. It's just learning to expect people to do shitty things. You're never going to be surprised. People are going to exploit this. People are going to learn how to get around things or sell something that's not theirs. That's going to happen very quickly. And that's where the evil aspect of it comes in from. Because no, not everybody who does this is going to be that evil person who just tries to take advantage of the system, take advantage of an artist, take advantage of the market or whatever. But it takes very few people to make it work poorly. It takes a lot of people to make it work the right way.
Yeah, and this is definitely something that this is definitely a concept that again, I am not well versed in. That I just kind of learned about this stuff, less than a week ago. But it is definitely like it's a world that when Bitcoin and cryptocurrency started blowing up, it's the same. It was the exact same thing where like some people wrote this off as like, it's just a fad. Some people are like, no, this is going to be the future, and some people are like, well, how is this going to factor into real money? And it's really just going to be time will tell. Eventually things are going to get refined, and if people want to get into this sort of stuff, the best advice that I ever heard about this sort of stuff, it's like, if you want to get into it, it's very similar to gambling, where it's like you put in you put in your money, and you have to just accept that you might lose it all. And so you have to be okay with the amount that you put in. You have to be okay with it potentially all going away. And you put in as much as you're comfortable with, and when you think that you need to get out, you get out. And that's what I feel like that's what this is. It is definitely like it's a very, very weird place, but after learning more about it, I'm very interested to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out, and I only hope that it goes well for people. Yeah. Like, specifically artists, because that's all I care about. I don't care about people selling tweets. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, but and if artists of all mediums are getting paid and recognized for the work that they do, that is super awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, like, with this Beeple story, like, sure, you could probably write this off as like, one of those 1 in a million sort of deals.
Yeah,
but I also
$69 million is a lot of fucking money.
$69 million is a lot of fucking money. But you could also view this as, the system kind of works. Sure, this is again a 1 in a million sort of story, but this is like the prime example of like when it works, it fucking works, man.
Yeah.
You just have to now. Really, it's just can we get it to work for the majority of other people?
Yeah, that's where it really comes in.
Yeah, and that's
like
I would also argue that this serves as a very good motivator for any artist who wants to get into making NFTs. It just kind of, for me, like, honestly, this served as a motivator. Like, if I ever wanted to get into something like this, this serves as an excellent motivator for me, because it's like, again, you are making a product that you have to make sure that the majority of people deem worthy of or worth something. And some people can get intimidated by that and be like, oh well, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I don't think I'd ever make a piece that's worth $69 million. But to other people, you give them that hope of like, that could be me. I could do, like, if I can perfect my craft, reiterate upon it, work on it more, practice more, keep grinding, keep doing what I'm passionate about. Who knows? Maybe eventually I could make something that is worth $69 million or more.
I mean, I agree with you, and I think that would be awesome in the ideal world.
Yeah, in the ideal world, yeah.
But I was having this conversation about this with Emily recently, and the worrying thing for me going forward, specifically with these, is that we like to give famous people free shit. Because people, like, let's say you wanted to go out there, like you said, now you are inspired and hopeful and like you have the desire to go out and try and make an NFT, whatever it is, like make something that has that you will hope has value. Now you can just put your entire soul into this thing and it can be one of the most beautiful works of art, but you and me, to a much lower degree, are not like famous by any stretch of the imagination.
Wow, how dare you? I'll have you know that I have over 400 followers on Twitch. Thank you very much. All right, check yourself.
And well, that's why I said you, and then me even lower, because I heard recently if you average between, I think, 3 and 5 viewers, you are in the top 5% of Twitch.
Wow.
Of Twitch streamers.
Wow, really?
I don't even get that much. So you're already, you're in that
That's
top 5%. That's
kind of depressing to hear.
It is. It's really sad.
Jesus.
And that goes to show, like, those people that you see that are like Ludwig and Moist Vertical and Ninja and Markiplier and all these people, these guys are getting sponsorships, and it's not because they don't deserve them. I'm not like calling any of these guys out. Like, I have a lot of respect for all these guys because their marketing is amazing. A lot of these guys are incredibly entertaining. They're smart people to a certain degree. Like, these people have worked hard for this, but they will always be rewarded with things that, more often than not, a smaller streamer, a smaller artist will never really get, even if the smaller artist may deserve it more.
Yeah.
Because just giving a small artist like $1 million for their NFT, or giving or Soulja Boy going out there and saying, I'm gonna get I want to sell this tweet. He did nothing to do anything with that tweet, but it will sell because it's his name behind it, even if there's no passion behind it. Unlike this smaller artist who really worked so hard to, like you said, perfect their craft, to put all of their time and passion into this, and hope that they get that. We live in a world where people reward the people who have already been rewarded. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad. A little disheartening.
It's definitely disheartening. I would agree that it's definitely disheartening.
I only, like you said, I only hope that it works out for the better.
Yeah. Actually, to briefly touch upon that, because that's actually really interesting. It's a really interesting topic because of it's weird. I guess like even a better example of that, like we reward people who have already done whatever. We reward people who are already successful. I think one of the best examples of that is the Kardashians, like for sure. For
Kylie Jenner getting donations to become the youngest billionaire.
Yeah, not even just that. Fucking Kim Kardashian, who got
famous.
Her fame for having sex with a celebrity.
No, she was famous for being married to a person and then had sex with another celebrity.
Yeah. And then
she was famous for being famous.
She was But her popularity stemmed from just that one instance. And and again, sure, like I would agree that the cynical view of the world is now our real view of the world. But for the brief moment that we talk about this, I want to be just like that guy that's like, I refuse to give up hope. I refuse to let the world get me down. But
optimism is really good.
When I started streaming, I remember I had a very long conversation with myself about I stream because I love it. It's really, really fun and I enjoy what I do. But at the same time, the end goal is I do want to make this a career. That is ultimately the end goal. If that happens, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be, the saddest. I'll be a little disappointed, but, I'll still keep doing it.
Right.
But I remember before I started streaming, though, I had to talk to myself. And I was like, we are essentially mining for gold. Like, we're mining for gold in a
shaft that has been
that's already been mined
out.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that there's something left. And I remember I was like, I have to be okay with this. And if I wasn't, then it's like then don't even try, because that's not why we do this. You can be hopeful for the goal, but it's like you're really just here for the experience. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. I enjoy doing this. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like I can do this, and I can be okay with myself at the end of the day.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat of I would like to make this a career. I don't think anybody who is on the internet doesn't want to be on it to try and do something with it. You don't start publishing articles on the internet because you're bored or because you don't like it. You have to enjoy at least some part of it and then want to, make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
Everybody would do that. And I had a very similar, internal monologue with myself because I procrastinated forever. I got all of this streaming equipment, all of this stuff years ago. And I was just like, oh, I'm not ready. I need more stuff. I need to make sure that I have a perfect setup. And then I was like, at a certain point, around the time that I started watching you and I started talking more, I even then I wasn't streaming. I was recording videos on my Elgato and the quality wasn't great, and I was putting them up on YouTube, and it was a basically me trying to copy the Game Grumps version with Otto and I. And in all honesty, I really enjoyed it, and I was putting a lot of effort into it, and it kind of burnt me out because I was putting a lot of time into it and a lot of money. And I came to the realization that, well, one, trying to save up to get all of the best equipment and never starting is not getting me anywhere.
Yeah.
And two, while I hate networking,
Same.
I'm really bad at it, and I
Same.
hate doing it. I do like talking to people, but I'm not the kind of person who just goes out there and is just like, hey, watch my stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm all about
thumbnail
like
and all this
I
stuff.
I feel like the idea of networking has become more and more simplistic for such a very complex topic.
Yeah.
Because I think with most people, like amateur networking is like, hey, go like watch my stuff. I do this, this, and that, and it's like that is such that tactic is very flash in the pan. Like,
yeah, and nobody wants to see it.
And
anymore.
nobody wants to do that.
It's
Nobody
so
like
annoying.
you like 9 times out of 10 you advertise yourself like that, and 9 times out of 10 people will be like, I'm not doing that
like,
at all. Period. I actually remember when I went to TwitchCon, God, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2
no,
or
it was
3
3
years
years
ago.
ago.
3 years ago.
It was
Oh
3 years
God!
It's been that long. Because not last year, but the year before, you went to SDCC.
Well, I go to SDCC every year.
Yeah, but you didn't go.
No, I did.
That year.
No, I went to TwitchCon the same year because they were both in San Diego.
You did?
Yeah, they were both in San
Oh.
Diego. It was yeah, because SDCC was in July and then TwitchCon was in I think it's September. I think. Yeah, because that was the year that both of us were supposed to go, and then you didn't go.
Right.
You fuck. You abandoned me.
No. Why was I not able
You
to go? It was like a week later.
No, there was.
No, it was the next week because I left the day before you got to
Oh
California.
yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
left
right.
California the day before you got
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Yeah, because but yeah. So
Okay,
when I went to
that's
TwitchCon, I went to a bunch of panels and they're very informative. They're very interesting. But one of them was like how to network and like how to advertise yourself more, and that was like one of the key advices was just like try your best to make actual connections, and which is really difficult because those take a very, very long time to generate. Like sometimes, yeah, sure, you'll meet somebody and you'll just hit it off right off the bat, but that's usually not gonna happen. Like making those lasting connections are what really, really matter. And which those are so hard to make, and especially when you're trying to, especially in a creative medium, I guess, especially in a creative medium like streaming, it's very difficult to generate that, because it's like I like to like people on Twitch, I feel like will say, it's not a competition like for views and whatnot, but I would argue that it kind of is, like, low key.
Yeah, if any indication from my one friend,
yeah,
and their response to them coming to my channel and being like, "Ha, I had more views than you, and I'm only on my first day or my second day," like that. So it kind of comes around to the point that I had originally been trying to make, like. You and I both want to make this a career, and you do it much more consistently than I do. So your chances of that happening are significantly higher. And I only do it, 1 day a week, and then on Wednesdays when we do this.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point where, yes, I do want to do it, but I don't have I really just don't have the drive to do it every day and work my job. And
that's
it's
hard.
not like, it's not impossible, because there are a lot of people who do it. I just don't personally have that. Like, because when I did try to do that, my relationship started to suffer, and a whole lot of other things.
It's difficult to balance that sort of stuff.
I've come to the realization that, like, I don't care what my views are, as long as I have some people that drop by. Like, I'm totally okay with that. Even at the end of every single one of my streams, even if there's no one there, I always sign off and it's like, I'll see y'all next time. Like, because I don't care. Like, I care if people are there, I'll talk to somebody, and I really do try to engage in conversations with people, because I like talking to people, and I really appreciate when people are there. But I'm not a view chaser.
Yeah.
And that's not something that I do. And for the most part, it's not something that you seem to do either, because people will ask both of us, like, "Hey, will you play this game?" will you do this way? And it's like, those people are usually the ones that don't stick around because they just want to see you do something. And you're like, hey, maybe I'll get to it.
Yeah, and that was a lot of advice that I got from people who didn't stream. That was a lot of the advice that I got when I first started streaming from people who didn't stream, when I would like tell like family and friends. They'd be like, oh, you know, you should play League of Legends, you should play Overwatch, you should play Minecraft and Terraria, like play all the games that everyone's playing. And I'm like, but why would I do that when everyone's doing it?
Jumping on the jumping on the bandwagon can be beneficial. Like, there are people who go out there and they're like, hey, I just want to hit affiliate in a week. And technically 30 days. And I mean, like, and you just play Fortnite, you can hit that affiliate so fast.
Yeah, and I can play games like that, and you know, I could potentially have people come into my chat and be like, hey, let's play together. I'm like, yeah, totally, let's do that. And, you know, generate that collaboration, that network, that genuine networking stuff. Right. But at the same time, like, I hate that. I hate Fortnite. That's basically what you and I did. Like, I played Kingdom Hearts, you came to my stream, and then we eventually started hanging out more, and it's just like, hey, let's make a podcast. You know,
cultivated that over. I've been following your channel for 4 years now, 3 years.
Fuck. Jesus.
I'm gonna hold on. Hi.
Wow.
Let's see. I've been following since October 12th, 2017.
Fuck. So almost 4. It'll be 4 years.
In October, it'll be 4 years.
Christ.
And the funny thing is,
that's just gross.
So, did I ever tell you actually how I found your channel?
No.
So, in 2017, I was just watching a lot of Kingdom Hearts streams. I don't do this nearly as often anymore, but I used to just watch Kingdom Hearts speedruns all the time, because I speedran Kingdom Hearts 2, not like competitively or like I never posted any leaderboards. I would just practice and I was okay at it. I'm not good. I more knew what to do than actually being able to execute it. So I would watch people all the time, and I had specific guys. And there was one day I ran out of guys to watch, and I was like, I just want to see somebody play Kingdom Hearts. So I put in Kingdom Hearts 2, and you were the person with the least amount of viewers. And I was like, let's watch this guy. You had either 1 or 3 viewers, and I was like, let's watch him. And you were doing the Cavern of Remembrance at the time that I joined, and you were having a really rough time.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, that's how I joined. I'm pretty sure you. I think it was because you had the least amount of viewers. I wanted to support a smaller Kingdom Hearts streamer.
That's actually amazing. So what you're telling me essentially is I was picked last and you just decided to take pity on me.
No, you were picked first because I took pity on you.
No, but like in the grand scheme of it all, like in the list of people that you saw, I was going to be last pick, theoretically.
Well, no.
Okay, better comparison. You looked into the barrel of things.
Granted, there were like 5 people.
Yeah, you went to the bottom.
It wasn't a long list.
It wasn't a big barrel, but you went to the bottom of the barrel and you found me, and you're like, I'm gonna take this one home.
Yeah, I found the one that I like. It might have grown a third eye and it's missing a fin, but I like this one. I like that fish. It's like, really? Yeah. You can have her for free. Sweet!
Yes! Dope!
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, and you were one of the first people that I, like, really interacted with, because most of the streamers that I watched were, you know, like, more famous. Like, they would have regularly, like, 75 to 400 viewers and being one voice in all of that. unless you're obnoxious or you personally know them, chances are you aren't going to really develop a dialogue with that person.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that I did like going into smaller streamers' streams. And that's also the day that I met Chaotic. And I remember initially being like, wow, this person is like the elitist of Kingdom Hearts. Because she was said that she didn't like using drives because they basically... God, I can't remember exactly what she said. Basically, it was like the cheap way of playing. And I was like, what? That's so weird, because I was coming from the speedrunner aspect of like, but it makes the game work. Like, how can you play this game without using drive?
Game.
Yeah, it's like, otherwise you're playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and that game blows. that was my perspective, because I don't like Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, I do, but if I had the choice between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2. If I have the choice between Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 1, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1.
Wow. Damn.
I'm being real. So, yeah, but, I mean, and even then, since then, like, I'm friends with Chaotic. I haven't talked to her in a while, but, like, me and her, we started...
That's a great sentence. Like, I'm friends with her. I haven't talked to her in a while, but, we're friends.
I like to consider her a friend. And, I wouldn't play games with her, and I wouldn't, like, interact with her in chat and, do all this stuff if I didn't consider her that way.
Real small tangent. That sentence reminds me of Bo Burnham, one of his previous comedy specials called What? At the very end, he does like this super like really cool like musical number, and it's like a pre-recorded video like message of like this girl from like simulating like someone he knew from high school, and one of the lines that the girl says is like we were like, so I remember us being such good of friends, back in the day in high school. We didn't like talk much or like ever, but I feel like that's what made our friendship so special, Like I looked at you from afar, and you never looked back at me, and you had beautiful hair, and I thought you were really pretty, and I never judged you, except when you were fat, and I thought that being able to say that directly to you, indirectly, just made us really close. Yeah, that's what your sentence reminded me of. Yeah, it's fine.
So, if I don't know if you were going anywhere, I did notice that we're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah, no, that was it. I mean, on that note, I think that is a perfect
I want
place
to do
for us
one
to
more
end.
thing.
Oh, is this the quiz?
This is the quiz that I wanted.
Yes.
So this,
I'm like kind of looking forward to it because I always quiz you on stuff, so I'm kind of excited about this.
I want you to take the BDSM test.
Oh, that's really awkward. Because you know why that's awkward? Because I've already taken it. I've taken it twice, actually.
Okay, cool. Do you have
Let me see if I can find... I'm going to see if I can find my results.
Yeah, because I have mine. And really, it was just like... well, I thought that a lot of the questions... If you were to take it, I would hope that you would take it live and read off some of the
if I can't find results, I'll take it again.
A lot of them are funny.
Yeah, if I can't find the results
I have my results, and I just wanted to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm kinkier than you in any way. I just thought it would be funny.
We're going to find out really quickly which one of us has strayed too far from God's light.
Exactly.
We're going to really find out. Okay, I can't find it, so I'll just redo the test. We'll just do it that way. That's fine.
Well,
but that's actually really funny that you want me to take this test, because this will be the third time I've taken this test, actually.
Good.
Hilariously enough, and again, it's going to be for the exact same reason I took it the other times, is because I couldn't find my results.
So just make sure that you do the maximum accuracy one, because that's the one that I took. It gives you all of the questions.
All right. Hold on. I'm checking through my documents one last time to make sure that I don't actually have my results.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I was like,
I just want to double check. because I could have sworn I actually saved them,
This would be funny.
but I guess I didn't,
Like, it's
which is
just
like
basic.
kind of upsetting, low key. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I have a bunch of random screenshots and I don't know what they are or why I have them. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
No, I definitely don't have it. I can't find it. So okay, let's do it. Okay. So I want to take the tests anonymously. I promise I'm not a robot. All right. Gender, male. Category.
How dare you?
Age category. Oh, 26 to 30. Ooh. Oh,
Yeah,
my heart.
I don't like being in that category either.
Oh God. There's
Hey,
a.
I'm about to be 27. Shut up.
Oh, I'm gonna be 27 in May.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be 27.
You're gonna be
first.
27 first. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Chris Hardwick has a wonderful joke of like, there are several stages of every person's life. It's like, 16, you're able to drive. 18, fucking sex and voting, awesome. 21, alcohol. After 21, it's just 25 to corpse.
25 corpse.
Like, you have that brief, after 21, you have that brief window of 23 to 25 because you check a new box on any form.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just 25 to corpse after that point. It's all downhill.
Yeah, now I can rent a car and get more debt.
Yeah.
And
All right.
kids.
Orientation. I will say it's more strictly heterosexual now. Maximum. Look, I danced
like the
around.
disclaimer.
I danced around the idea in college, and then I was like,
I
it's
have
not for me.
no judgment whatsoever.
I
I
prefer
find
maximum accuracy.
I am not. I wouldn't consider
all
myself
questions.
bisexual. I can just find men attractive.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Here we go. I like to be dominated, especially in the bedroom. I will say no.
No, or absolutely
or-
no. Only
Probably
a little
not.
no.
Probably not. Probably not. I like receiving pain during sex and seeing the results. Maybe.
Wow.
Prefer making sexual decisions for my partner as this gives me control. I'll just be indifferent to that, honestly. I don't mind a little. Yeah, sure. Like forcing my partner in submission much more than them submitting spontaneously. I'm gonna lean.
Taking this at the same time you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean a little bit over. I'm gonna lean a little bit into the into the agree part. Into the okay. And it's only because in my head I'm like, 'cause at that point it's just not fun. if they don't put up a little fight, it's just not fun at that point. Feeling physically overpowered is one of the most liberating sexual feelings. I like to have sex with multiple people at the same time. Honestly, I'm just gonna be in the center for that one. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I feel like I would be in that situation and I would be so unbelievably self-conscious.
There are so many things right now.
Yeah, there's so many
What do I
things.
touch?
There are appendages everywhere. I'm pretty sure that dude over there is bigger than me.
Oh, okay.
Like, we all know that in a realistic situation, there's going to be at least another guy. We all know this.
Okay.
I like that you're okay with just like, not in my situation.
Yeah,
beta male.
Not for me. That wouldn't happen to me.
I enjoy when people watch me being naked or having sex. No, I would just feel so I would be so self-conscious about it. I'm gonna go sorta no. Because I think at some point I would stop caring and I would just go for it. But like initially I'd be like, oh, I hate this idea.
Granted, okay, so I don't like the idea of watching people or watching me have sex, but I have had sex in a room with other people. Other people were in the room. They just didn't know it was happening. So I don't know if that's a yes.
I mean, at any point did the thought of them... I think this is actually a question. At any point did the thought of you being caught by them, did that turn you on?
No. I just thought it was funny.
That's definitely going to be probably a no on both aspects.
It was Otto.
God.
He was playing video games in my room, and I was like, I'm going to see if I can get away with this. And then I told him later, and he's like, oh, cool. How'd that go? And I was like, it was pretty good.
Nice.
He's like,
sneaky.
I was like, did you have any idea? He's like, no. I'm like, cool.
Right.
I was subtle. It was a subtle bang.
I don't like making sexual decisions. I prefer my partner to make them for me. Yeah, sure. I would like to consider myself as a very collaborative person in the bedroom. I don't really know.
I don't know
from
if that's
experience, but
that's on the gauge there. Collaborative.
Look, sex is a very collaborative project. Okay. At least I like to think it is. I'm willing to try anything once. Yeah, sure. Physically restricting my partner during sex BDSM is arousing. It's arousing, but would I do it is another question. I like sending nude or sexual pictures, videos of myself to others. No, God, no. That's one of the main arguments of why I wasn't gay, is because I already don't like looking at myself naked. I don't want to look at another male naked.
That's homophobic.
A little bit, yes. But it's... arguably,
okay.
yes, but...
Dicks are gross.
They are!
Like, I don't think anyone can really disagree with that. Like, even if you like dicks are gross.
Yeah, even if you like dicks, they're gross! I like to be totally helpless and at my partner's disposal, and I'm admit, no, actually. I have found out that I am the kind of person that, like, if I was in a relationship, and like there's a podcast I was listening to, and it was this couple, they were talking about their Valentine's Day plans, and it was like they went out to dinner, they had a lovely time, and like they came back, and the wife was like, you know, I get, like, it was Valentine's Day, and then, like, there's a sort of obligation, and like I wanted to give it to him, but I was just like so tired, so like I just kind of flopped on the bed, and I'm like, you can just do anything to me, but no new stuff, and then I just passed out. And the wife,
no new stuff.
Yeah, and then I just passed out, and the husband's just like, and they're like, so, like, did you do anything? And the husband just goes, no! Of course I didn't do anything! It's weird! Alright, receiving care, being smart are some of the main things I'm looking for in a relationship. I'm about it, but, like, I won't actually look for it. I'm about it.
I won't,
like, you can buy me nice things, I'm not gonna say no.
I'm indifferent.
I have a thing for large age differences in sexual encounters or relationships.
This is just, like... This is actually a test by the FBI to weed out pedophiles.
Yeah.
You better vote no. Even if it's a yes, vote no.
I mean, I'm gonna say I
no.
I will say I rather agree, but again, increasing from my own age, go from my age up.
I don't have a problem with. Okay, I'm in a relationship. I probably can't be like, I'm okay with older ladies. Hi, love you.
Hi, Emily. I mean, and again, we can go. I can go down, but to a very very hard floor. A very hard floor in that one. All right. When it comes to sexuality, my partner's discomfort is pretty much irrelevant. It gives me more pleasure. No. Again, collaborative experience. Enjoy playing or acting like a pet animal. No, that's weird. That's weird.
Wow.
Not about it. It's just not my thing. It's not my thing. And you know, to some people, me saying that I'm a brony and I don't like that, that's gonna be a little weird. Considering the fact that
that's hypocritical, bro.
Yeah, some people would say that's hypocritical. Actually, one of my friends from high school, I had to sit him down and talk to him for like 30 minutes because he was convinced that because I was a brony, that I was also a yiffer. And I had to explain to him.
Like that term. I don't like the term of yiffer.
Okay, well, he thought...
It's like derogatory for furry, which is
very
already painted in a negative light.
But he basically thought that I was a furry, and I had to sit him down for 30 minutes and talk to him and be like, no, I'm not. And he goes, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure that... Dude, I swear to God. God damn it. Right, giving care, supporting my partner is one of the main things I'm looking for in a relationship. Yeah, sure. Again, like, I'll buy you nice things if I can. Being treated with little or no respect during sex being arouses me. No. Again, I am an independent. I'm very still like you do whatever you want with me. Just no new stuff. Not when I'm out. You still have to treat me. The same podcast, the couple was also talking about that. They were like trying to do dirty talk, and the husband's like, yeah, we can't do dirty talk. And I'm like, why not? And it's like, because one time she was like, let's try it. And I was like, oh, you like that, you bitch? And she goes, hey, don't talk to me that way.
Don't talk to me that way.
And then it ended. So we can't do it now. I'm like, you will talk to me. You will talk dirty to me, but in a respectful manner.
I actually was thinking about that today. That term, I don't like the term bitch anymore. Like, I don't like using the term to describe someone. Like, if I'll say somebody's bitching about something, or that is bitching.
I love describing people like that.
I don't like using the word bitch. I'm totally fine using the word cunt. Because I feel like it is.
See, that's interesting because I don't like using that word. I'll use it very sparingly, and only when I'm like really heated about something.
I like it. I mean, and granted, I don't use that word to describe women. I don't use the word bitch to describe women. If somebody's being a cunt, I'll call them a cunt. If someone's being a bitch, I'll just call them a cunt. I don't know why. I don't like using the term bitch. I especially hate it when people call dogs that, and I get it's that's not what it is. I just don't like it.
I do it just
which is weird.
I do it because it's funny.
Oh, what a bitch!
I'll when like me and my Nicole, my sister, we do stuff, and my mom's like angry at us. She'll be like, "Who did this?" And we're like, "Lassie, my dog." We're like, "Lassie, you bitch! God damn it!"
Yeah, I can't get away with that. I have cats.
Yeah. Alright, there's no reason why sex would have to happen in private spaces isolated from the outside world. I'll just be neutral about that, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie. Being not isolated is pretty fun. Just gonna say.
I'll often put up a fight in bed, but it doesn't mean I want to win that fight at all. Sure, yeah, I'll agree to that. Again, it's not if there's no if there's no back and forth, there's no fun in it. Yeah, at least try. I find the romantic aspect in a relationship much more important than the sexual kinky aspects. I'm just gonna be a half on that one because I'm like the rational part of my brain is like, yeah, we want a loving relationship where we can connect with somebody, but then the horny part of my brain is just like, does it fuck good though? And unfortunately, the horny part of my brain wins a lot of those arguments.
Right. The ape brain.
Yeah, the ape brain. Currently have a master and mistress in my life. No. I would like to serve in a formal setting with explicit slit. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Now I'm going to finish that sentence. Ultimate life goal is to please my partners. There's hardly anything I wouldn't do to reach that goal. I'm going to agree, but I feel like I'm not agreeing to the definition that I think it is, but I'll still agree to it. I have a need to constantly try new things. A sexual routine would never make me happy. I kind of like doing... If it works, it works. You know, don't fix it if it ain't broke. But, you know, we could always try new stuff, but, like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to explore. Assuming I was single, yeah, because I'm just drowning in this poontang constantly. I would like to join an existing couples or polygroups relationship for sexual and or emotional pleasure. Ooh, that's a weird question.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, like I'm
try anything.
I'm not gonna agree, but I'll be like, I at least consider it.
Huh?
like, yeah, like I would definitely consider it. It's one of those questions that like I can't think about it hypothetically.
I've tried things you don't know
because it's such an abstract concept that like if unless I was actively in the situation, I could not actually formulate an answer.
Yeah, you would need experience.
Yeah, like it has to actually happen, or like I can't. I don't know. So I'll just say sure, maybe. Being physically restricted during sex is arousing. I mean, yeah, it's arousing. Again, finding it arousing and actually partaking is two very different things. I enjoy feeling like a prey hunted by predator. Not really. I don't have any sort of specific fetish or non-standard sexual turn on. That's not true. That's not true at all. I'm into weird things. Being part of a group of slaves that serves one master, nah. I would like to be completely tied up during... See, this is the one. I would like to be completely tied up during sex BDSM. I'm actually going to probably say no. Yeah, I definitely, yeah, gonna say no to that one. I enjoy being kept as a pet in a cage. Nope. You will address me in derogatory manners, but you will treat me with respect, damn it. I love seeing the fear in my partner's eyes when they know I'm going to inflict pain on them. No. Ooh.
This question is really funny, and I can't wait for you to get to it, because I'm a little ahead of you now.
Okay. I like to be sexually degraded and humiliated by my partner sometimes. No, again, respect.
Respect goes both ways.
Exactly. I gladly leave everything behind, including moving across the globe if I have to, for BDSM life of my dreams. No. Absolutely not. I enjoy playing a different age than what I technically am. I feel like that's just me naturally. I would like to be nothing but a 24/7. Nope. Treating my partner with little or no respect during arouses me. When I know the person, it's a lot less arousing when I know them. It's significantly less. Like, then I just feel bad and guilty, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Aww.
I like being forced into submission much more than submitting spontaneously. Yeah, sure, okay. I would like it when my partner is completely tied up during sex BDSM. Again, it's weird when I know the person. When I know them, it gets weird, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Wait, not knowing the person sounds rapey.
I mean, okay, yeah, it does sound
I prefer
rapey,
tying somebody up when I don't know who they are. Just saying.
Like in the concept of like watching porn, like watching porn. It's like I don't have any sort of like
I don't know who this is. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I don't know this person. Like I assume this was all consensual. So like that's as long as
assume it was consensual.
Look, I don't know, man.
No,
I don't know.
Did you ever see the that one? It just reminds me of the Pornhub. I assume it's consensual. Is that quote of most of our step sibling step parent porn is fake, and it's like, wait, most? Hold on, most? I think that needs to be their new slogan. Look at Pornhub. I assume it's consensual.
Look, when I'm watching porn, I assume that it's all on the up and up, but I have no ties to the people that I'm watching, and I'm like, all right.
Wait, you don't have a favorite actor or actress?
Oh no, I do. I definitely do.
Okay.
I definitely do. But I don't know this person. I don't know this person. Like they're just a person to me. They're not like an acquaintance. They're not a friend. Honestly,
you're nothing to me except a body.
Okay, when you put it that way,
it sounds horrible.
It just sounds horrible. It sounds so bad, but it's so true. But honestly, if I met the actress that I frequently watch in porn, I don't know if I could continue watching them. I'd have to. Is find it Asa a new person. Akira? No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay, and that's gonna sound really insensitive because she's Asian.
Oh wow.
She's very popular.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Okay. I was making a racist assumption.
Let the record show.
Based on the information that I have.
Wow. Wow. All right. Anyways.
Anyway.
Plenty of sexual fantasies that I would like to try out.
I can speak Chinese. It's not that bad.
Yeah, when you
I'm not as racist as it sounds.
Unless you forget the goddamn ma in a yes or no question, you fucking heathen.
Fair enough. I just because I said I know Chinese doesn't mean I was good at it.
It's fair. You know what? Fair enough. All right. Anyways, back on topic. All right. Plenty of sexual fantasies I would like to try out more than most of my kinky peers. No, actually, like I have a lot of fantasies, but that's what makes them interesting to me is that they're fantasies. They're not real.
Fair enough.
Like I enjoy the kinks that I enjoy watching them. I don't think I would ever partake in them, actually. I'm not gonna lie, this is a really awkward conversation to be having, especially because I'm pretty sure my cousin watches this. I'm pretty sure she watches the podcast, and it's like a little weird, but it's fine. We're all adults.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as she's not watching this with her, I think 1-year-old child, everything's gonna be fine.
The kid's not gonna know.
Look, I was
traumatized by Uncle Maxwell, and
look, to that kid, I want to be known as the cousin that hates him. Because I just don't interact with him at all. Wow. I think I'm probably the only person that has never held him as a baby. Everyone in my family has held him. I refuse to do it.
It took primarily me
because I refuse to do it primarily because I'm afraid I'm gonna drop him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And you always have people who are like, "Oh, you're not gonna do that." I'm like, "You don't know that. You don't know. Anything can happen."
Exactly my feeling.
You don't know.
I hate children. Specifically babies. 1, because they're loud. 2, because they poop. And 3, because I don't want to kill them. I don't want to be responsible in any way, shape, or form for them.
Alright. I find it adorable when my partner acts or dresses childlike, or when they engage in childlike activities, such as coloring in a coloring book or playing on a playground. No, it's fine. You know.
That's fine?
I mean, like...
I'm judging. I'm giving you
like,
shit.
It's like, Like, if they're doing it all the time, I have concerns. But it's like, occasionally, I'm like, okay, whatever. Fucking, I went on a road.
I think the idea is with the intent to be like a child.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, drawing in an adult coloring book and being like...
I mean, like, it's...
painting the F word in colors is fun.
Yeah.
And it's instead of being like, I like My Little Pony, yay! Yeah,
I mean, like, it's
God,
fine.
I just insulted you.
Yeah. It's wow. Again, rude.
Fuck.
You just unconsciously did it too. That wasn't even like an actual intentional dig. You just did it. It was just actually mean.
It was just My Little Pony had come up.
That was just like, genuinely mean.
I have nothing against bronies or people who like My Little Pony.
Apparently you do.
Just in my head.
Apparently you do.
I know plenty. Well, I know a few bronies.
Wow, and that just makes it all better, doesn't it? I'm allowed to make Asian jokes. I know a couple Asian people, all right?
I can't be homophobic. I was on Glee. Actual quote.
Jesus. I can be sexually submissive now and be sexually dominant another time, either the same or to another partner. I don't think so. I don't think I could be submissive, really. I exude bottom energy, but I'm pretty sure.
Christ.
what's that definition? I think I'm a power bottom. I think that's what it is.
Power bottom.
Well, that's what it is, right? You have top and bottom, and then like a top is like acts
top,
like
or a power bottom.
It's not called a soft top. It's called something else.
Is it?
Yeah, it's definitely called something. I don't think it's soft top. It's something else, but it's power bottom and like
opposite of power bottom. What's the opposite of a power bottom? Okay, yeah, it would be submissive top.
Yeah, it's submissive top, but like, there's another definition for it. And I just don't remember what it is.
Antonym of power bottom. Power top. No,
that's just a top. What? A power top is just redundant. Submissive top. The top. Maybe it is. Maybe it is just submissive top. Maybe that's what it is. All right, whatever. We're getting off topic.
Top.
Sure, fuck it. Why?
I like
fine.
soft top.
Sure, fine. Soft top, whatever. Either way, I exhume bottom energy, but I'm pretty,
Right.
but like I'm fairly certain that I'm a power bottom. Anyways, I'm willing to pay for porn if it really suits my sexual interests. Sure, why not? Is it like free's better, but you know the good stuff always comes with money. Like free stuff can only get you so far. You have to actually pay for the good stuff. In an ideal relationship, my partner would see me as a mere object to them. No, respect! RESPECT. Find out what it means to me, bitch! Making my partner suffer for my pleasure is one of the best things in my life. No, again, it's weird when I know the person. Living with a group of slaves owned by me and serving me with my ultimate life goal. No. There's a reason why I do the harem routes when I do RPGs, because again, it's not real, it's a fantasy. It's fun when there are no repercussions, but when things get more complicated, it starts being very not fun. It's not a big deal when things I try to turn out bad for me. It's part of the risk, and essentially, sure, yeah. I'm currently in a long-term relationship. Yes! No. I'm currently in a long-term relationship. Ha! Bold of you to assume I'm in a relationship. Bold of you,
let alone long term.
Yeah, bold of you
That's
to
a whole other
assume I have
question.
made a connection with another person. I have plenty of sexual fantasies, which would at the very least be unethical to execute.
That's the one. It's the why unethical. What's the unethical part?
How is unethical defined in this situation? You know what? No, I'm just gonna say I agree. I'm there. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need to define it. I already know it's a yes. I would like to provide my partners with explicit slave training, train them in prescribed physical positions, rituals. Maybe. Try it once. In questionnaires these, I tend to go for the extreme answers rather than the middle answers. No.
Nice.
Actually. I usually either say disagree or agree. I don't usually go strongly. I enjoy keeping my partner as a pet, providing them with a cage. No. Again, weird when it's with someone I know. If I could not fulfill all of our sexual desires, I would encourage them to see other people to fill the gaps. Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
Not for me.
I'm gonna say slightly, because that, no, 'cause that's just sad.
It's essentially cuckoldry.
Yeah. I'll go a long way to make my appearance match my partner's desires. No. I actually knew a guy in high school.
No.
In middle school and high school, who was dating a girl, and he became, quote unquote, bisexual, and he dyed his hair brown. All because of his girlfriend at the time liked bisexual men and men with brown hair.
That's really specific.
Yeah, and I was like, no.
That's going a little far.
Yeah. I often behave in animalistic ways during sex, growling, howling. I probably would, honestly. I probably would. I don't. It wouldn't be
Tony
like
the
that.
Tiger,
But it'd be like
is
it
great.
Actually, funny enough, there was one time that in college where I almost got in a fight with a dude, and I subconsciously growled at him, and he literally went, "Did you just growl at me?" And I go, "Yeah, I did actually." And thankfully, it made him more. It made me more intimidating. Thankfully, but it could have gone very much south from there. I played it off as like, I'm fucking insane and I will literally destroy you. You don't want to deal with the crazy person. So I kind of played it that way, but I did do
Fair
that
enough.
once subconsciously where I didn't even realize I did it. And he's like, he said something. I was like, oh shit. In an ideal relationship, I should have no hard limits. My life should belong to my partner. I should decide, no. If part of my sexual desires are not fulfilled with my partner, I would want to see other people. No. There was, when I was dating my ex, I remember I would joke with her, because we would have conversations of like, you know, oh, would you ever cheat on me? I'm like, oh, of course not. And I remember she asked me that. She's like, do you think you'd ever cheat on me? And I go, no. Fucking, you're my first girlfriend. It took me 21 years to date another person. Of course I'm not gonna ruin this. You think I'm gonna do whatever it takes to ruin this? Fuck that nonsense. I'll ride this ship out as long as I can. And then we broke up 6 months later.
Aw, rip.
Yeah, and it was mutual. It was okay. It was amicable, and it was like, all right. I was not mature enough for it. Neither was she, and we didn't handle the situation. It was fine. It's whatever. But that's a story for another time on another episode. All right. I enjoy feeling like predator hunting its prey. I'll be neutral about that. I don't know. I like it when my partner takes on a nurturing and guiding, almost parental role in the relationship. Maybe? I don't.
Maybe sometimes you don't know.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I enjoy watching other people being naked and having sex. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that reminds me of a story again that I will tell on maybe on the next episode of the podcast.
Okay.
We're running overtime now, and that reminds me of something. All right. I'd like my partners to submit to me 24/7. Nah. Like my partners to be completely in charge of the bedroom, order me around. Meh. Not really. Again, there's gotta be a back and forth here. If I can make some money from selling porn clips of myself, I definitely would. Ooh. I don't know. Cause like I already hate myself already. And I don't.
Yeah, but if you could make money off of it.
I mean, like, yeah, but my first reaction would be like, if someone came up to me and be like, I want you to sell me a clip of you doing some sort of sexual act, my response to them would be, why? Not even like a judgmental thing. It's not even like a judgmental thing. It'd be like, why do you want me specifically? Like, in what? What?
Start judging them like,
yeah.
You're weird.
Yeah. I'm not judging them on their
It's
kink.
me.
Yeah, I'm not judging them on their kink. I'm judging them that they find me attractive in some capacity. Because I'm just like, you have made poor decisions. And you need to reevaluate whatever they are. I'll just say maybe, because I really don't know. Being in fear of what my partner is going to do to me physically is arousing. Not really. Not really. I feel the need to serve my partner and treat them with the highest respect, addressing them as a superior. Nah. I'm totally cool with my partners having sex with other people. Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. Well, I'm gonna just say disagree, because like if we get into the weird hypothetical of like polyamory, it's just like, I don't know. Talking back to one's dominant is in a teasingly disobeying way should be part of the sub's fun. Absolutely, 100%. That's the fun part. When it comes to sexual acts, my own discomfort is pretty much irrelevant if it allows me to give my partner more pleasure. Yeah, sure. I know about that. I don't need physical pleasure from sex. If my partner is enjoying it, that's all I need. No, there needs to be some sort of completion. There definitely should be completion somewhere along the line. I enjoy verbally degrading my partner, calling them humiliating names during... No, it's weird when I know the person. Sometimes watching people have sex is more fun than participating. Yeah, sometimes it is. I enjoy it when my partner plays or acts like a pet animal, dog, cat, pony. Maybe. It could be cute, but, like, kind of weird. I like to be completely in charge of the bedroom when my partner's around. Not really. Man, I forgot how long this thing was. The idea of being tortured sexually is appealing. I'm going to be in the middle on that one. Having to do really disgusting things for my partner's pleasure sounds pretty arousing. No.
I officially have two answers. Now.
I would be willing to leave everything I have behind to live the beat. No, didn't we just ask this question? I liked inflicting pain during seeing the results of it afterwards. No. Because I would be hurting somebody. Because that's uncomfortable to me. Like any normal person. I cannot always be dominant or always submissive. I need both. Yeah, sure. I like to dominate my partner, especially in the bedroom. I don't know. I like to sexually degrade my partner sometimes. That's eh. I will naturally take on a nurturing, guiding, always parental role in this relationship. Sure. The idea of torturing someone sexually is appealing. I'm just going to be in the middle on that one. If my partner would really enjoy using me as a urinal, I would happily let them.
This is where it gets oddly specific. It's like they're calling me out by name.
No, I'm gonna say no to that one.
That's probably a
that's gonna be a pass from me on that one. Again, I try it once and then be like, no. I already know the answer, but who knows? I could surprise myself.
Yeah, maybe you're gonna do it at least one time.
Yeah, who knows?
Like, ooh, that smells good.
Because that's how it was when I got it when I started watching My Little Pony. It was like, I'll watch the first episode and like if I don't like I'll just watch the first episode because people say it's like they really like it. We'll see what the hype is about. And I remember watching it and I was like, it left on a cliffhanger and I'm like, well, I gotta know what happens next. Like, I gotta know.
They got me hooked.
I was like, all right. If my partner would really enjoy using me... Oh, no, I already answered that question. I'd like to submit to my partner 24/7 and see serving them as my life purpose. No. My partner having multiple partners, while I'm monogamous, except for threesomes with my partner involved, it sounds like a perfectly acceptable situation. No, that's uncomfortable. I want my partner to serve me and address me as superior. No. Click it. I enjoy dressing or behaving like a child or engaging in child-appropriate activities such as coloring.
I just watched your mouse go back and forth.
It wouldn't click. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. I enjoy dressing and behaving like a child. No, not really. I act like a child, but I don't like dressing like one. Or always behaving like one. At least I don't think I am. I enjoy being verbally degraded and being called humiliating names during me. No, you will treat me with RESPECT.
K. Oh.
What?
RESPEK. Spec.
Respect. I want to meet more like-minded kinky people and I'm willing to put effort into that. It's the effort part.
Yeah, that's what it is. For me, I was like, I'm kind of middle of the road on that one. Like,
it's the effort part that I'm like, am I willing to put effort in? I don't know about that one. I'll slightly agree. We plan to launch a BDSM-themed matching dating website to meet like-minded people, potential play partners, probably later this year. Would you like to send an email when it's ready? Oh my god. I feel like I answered yes to I feel like I answered these questions. I answered yes last time, the other two times, and I feel like I always said no, but I feel like after the third time, I feel kind of obligated when I have to say yes. Like I'm like oddly obligated
for your email.
Well, like I kind of have to, right?
Third time's the charm.
Fuck it, I'll say yes. Fuck it. Oh, I have to put my email in. Hold on. Let me just... you don't need to know what my email is. Shit. I didn't think they'd ask for it now. Fuck. Well, that's awkward.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, cool. Alright, you can still see my email address, so I'm just gonna read this off. If the new awesome King or BS department was launched, I would like to be kept up to date. Not really, no. I don't care about your projects. That's weird. Okay. All right. Help us improve the quiz. Feel free to skip it. Oh. So what is this? Indicate each archetype how well it suits you. Boy, girl. Little boys and girls, submissive spirits that mix childlike innocence with naughty... No.
Hi, Esprit.
Oh, hi, Esprit. What's up? Welcome to the C Plus Podcast Overtime Edition. Brat Tamer. Brat Tamers are, it says, dominants who enjoy it now. I don't have the authority for that. Or the energy. Degradees like to be degraded and humiliated by their play partners, either by being acted upon in a degrading way or being forced to do things they consider degrading. No, you would treat me with respect.
There we go.
Daddy mommies take on caretaker role rather than being a guide as much a dominant. Daddy mommies dominate their little treasure submissives. With an iron fist and a velvet glove. Gross. That's weird. Much cuddling and affection on the outside and being sturdy and hard on the inside as the other dominants, using subtle psychological mechanisms rather than brute power. I'm gonna just... Oh, there's no middle to this? Oh, I was just gonna be neutral, because that's kind of weird. Rigor. Like to tie up and restrain their partners using rope and or attribute, whether for sexual enhancement or for art or just for fun. Yeah! For art, yeah! I'm a rigger.
For art, yeah.
I'm definitely the like. Again, I like spectating. I don't like participating. I'm not the actor. I'm the stagehand.
But then you would have to act with the sexual part after they're all
You
tied
don't know that.
Whoa.
Wow. Whoa, this is kind of different.
Okay.
This is like really different, actually.
That was not what I expected to be.
I didn't expect this one either. Whoa, this one's real different. I definitely remember Voyeur was at the top last time. Voyeur was definitely at the top last time.
Holy shit.
So, okay, hold on. What's this? Alright, ace players like to play with age as part of their king. They typically take on a much younger or older age than they actually are, but prefer playing with a partner that does so. It attributes to behavior changes.
87% age player.
Okay. Reading through this, I'm gonna have to say no, actually, because this is like...
Well, you said yes to the coloring book thing.
Yeah,
you said yes to all of the things.
Yeah, I definitely misinterpreted a couple things.
Yeah, you did.
I definitely misinterpreted a few things.
Whoa.
There was definitely some misinterpretation. This is right, though. This one's definitely right. This one's for sure right. Voyeur, yeah. This one's definitely right. Yeah, I remember the last time I took this was like high 80s or almost like low 90s.
How many do you have that are even at 0%? Because I have 4.
1.
You have a few? Ah, boy.
Look. I kind of want to take this again now.
My age player is? It's 0.
Okay, hold on. We'll keep this tab.
Yeah.
I'm gonna duplicate it. We're
gonna
gonna try this again. Actually, hold on. Let's read the rest of the results. All right, vanilla.
Oh, it's gonna take you forever.
Experiment. No. We can I can lightning round this. I can lightning round this through it. All right, experimentalist, submissive. That's a lot higher than I thought it would be. I thought switch.
My vanilla is only 50%.
Mine's 66. I thought rigor would be much higher, actually, so that's kind of surprising.
My rigor is higher than yours.
Wow. Rope bunny. Oh, okay.
Rope bunny just means that you like to
right.
get
You're the subject, not the tire. Okay. I'm surprised these last 5. No, these 4 are not at 0. I'm surprised that these have a percentage to them. But okay.
Well, it's because you didn't say like absolutely no.
That's true.
I had a lot of absolutely no's.
All right. Anyways, yeah. 20, 25, 26 to corpse. Got it.
20.
Maximum accuracy. Show all the questions. Let's go. All right. I like to be dominated.
Boom.
No. Like to receive certain pain.
You just want to see him do it again so that you don't have to judge him.
Yeah. I prefer
That was
making
a
sexual
very
decisions
high age
as
player.
it gives me more control. Meh. I don't want a low playful. Yeah. I like more. Force my partner to submit. No, actually, I'm gonna say no to that one. Actually, because this reminded me of Blade Runner, where Decker and what's her name have sex.
Rachel.
This reminds me of Rachel. Yeah, this reminds me of that, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I definitely don't like that.
Well, I mean, that fair. That is fair, Esprit.
Yeah, who said it wouldn't?
I mean, I'm judging myself. I have my own list.
Right.
I'm gonna judge the shit out of him too.
Sexual feelings. No, I would like to have sex with multiple people at the same time. Maybe.
Maybe.
Keep it on the table. I enjoy it when people watch me being naked having sex. I'd probably get into it eventually. Ideally, I could command my partner. They'd obey me like a puppet no matter what I tell them to do. No, I don't like making sexual decisions. I prefer my partner to make them for me. Sure. I like making my partners do really disgusting things. No. I'm willing to try anything once. Yeah. Physically restraining my partner is arousing. I'll agree to that in this sense. I think I said, like, no last time. Or neutral. Like sending nudes. No. Again, no. I hate myself. To a arguably very high degree.
Oh, God.
I like to be totally helpless at my partner's disposal. No. Receiving care, being spoiled are some of the main things I'm looking for in a relationship. Okay, let's say no to this. Because I understand the context now.
That has nothing to do with age player.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'm going to slightly
agree. It was
the...
Yeah, that's right. Daddy mommy.
Alright, well, I'll slightly agree. Again, you can buy me nice things. I won't say no. I have a thing for large age differences in sexual encounters or relationships.
That's the one right there.
I'll slightly agree to that. Slightly. When it comes to sexual acts, my partner's discomfort is pretty much irrelevant. It gives me more pleasure. No, that you matter. I enjoy playing and acting like
I don't. You matter.
Giving care is one of the main things I'm looking for in a relationship. Neutral. I don't know. Being treated with little or no respect arouses me. No. Respect. There's no reason why sex would have to happen in a private space. Yeah, there's no reason. I'll often put up a fight in bed, but it doesn't mean I want to win the fight at all. I find the romantic aspect in a relationship much more important than the sexual kinky aspects. Yeah. Well, yeah. Not strongly, but I agree. I currently do not have a master or mistress in my life. What if I said yes? I would like to serve in a formal setting with explicit slave. No. My ultimate life goal is to please my partners, and there's hardly anything I would... I have a need to constantly try new things. I don't have a need. Assuming I was single, again, bold of you to assume that I'm already in a relationship. I would like to join... I have no idea. Being physically restricted. Being physically restricted. So if I was the one being tied up. No. I enjoy feeling like a prey. No. I don't have any... I do. Being part of a group of slaves. No. I would like to be completely tied up. No. I enjoy being kept as a... No. I love seeing fear. No.
I would like to be kept as a no.
I like to be sexually degraded. No. Respect. I would gladly leave everything behind. God, no. I enjoy playing at a different age than what I technically am. No. No.
You sure about that?
Yes. I would like to be nothing but a no. Treating my partner with little or no respect arouses me. Not really. I like being forced and submitted much more than submitting spontaneously. Maybe. I would like when my partner is completely tied up. Meh. There should be a little bit of freedom there. I have plenty of sexual fantasies that I would like to try out. No. I find it adorable when my partner acts or dresses like it. No. No. No.
Are you just judging yourself?
Yes. I could be sexually submissive now and sexually dominant another time. Yeah. I'm willing to pay for porn if it's... Yes. My partner would see me as a mere... no. Making my partner suffer for my pleasure is one of the best things in life. No. Living with a group of slaves? No. It's no big deal when things I try to turn out bad. It's part of the yeah, sure. I'm currently in a long-term relationship. Again, bold of you to assume. I have plenty of sexual fantasies, which would at the very least be unethical. Yes. I would like to provide my partner with a slips of training saying no. Tend to go for the extreme rather than the middle answers. No. I enjoy keeping my partner as a pet. No. If I could fulfill, I would encourage them. No, probably not. I would not go the distance. I don't know if I would act like an animal. Probably would. No hard limits in my life should belong to my partner. No, God, no. If my partner... Still no. I enjoy feeling like a predator. I don't know. Maybe, sure. I like it when my partner takes on a nurturing, guiding, really almost parental soul. I'm going to be indifferent to that one. I enjoy other people... Yes. I enjoy watching other people being naked and having sex. Yes. I watch porn. Yes. I'd like my partner to submit 24/7.
I don't think that's necessarily what they're referring to.
No, that's more voyeurism, honestly, is what that is. But even still,
What?
Yes. I let my partners keep me in charge. No. If I can make money, I don't know. Being in fear, not fun. I feel a need to serve them. No. Not cool with my partners having sex with the people. Talking back to one of my dominants is yeah. Sure. No. No, it's weird. Sometimes watching is more fun. No animal play. I don't need to be in charge completely.
Oh, that's one of the AR cards.
The idea of being
dope.
tortured sexually is appealing. The idea of being tortured, no. Having to do really disgusting things, yeah. I'd be willing to leave everything, no. I like inflicting pain. Maybe, I don't know. If they're into it. I could not be always dominant, always I need both. Yeah, sure. I like to dominate my partner's mission. I don't know. Probably not. I will take on... Probably not. Yeah, the idea of torturing someone, no. If my partner would really enjoy using me as a urinal, I would let them. No. Well, wait. What did I pick for this last time? I'm gonna be in the middle for it. Fuck it. I'd like to submit to my partner. No. Having multiple partners. Oh, right. Yeah, not a fan of that. You don't have to address me as superior. I do not enjoy dressing or behaving like a child or engaging in child-appropriate activities. No. That's not who I am. I understand. Shut up! I enjoy being verbally degraded. You treat me with respect, damn it. Again, more like-minded people. I'm gonna put my email address in again.
They're gonna send you two of them, but they're gonna be like, really?
Yeah, I'll just say no for this one. You know what? I'll just say no for this one. I put it in yes for the other one. Yeah, I said yes for the other one. I'll just say no. Alright, and also I don't care about your projects. Alright. Bop. Alright. So 83% vanilla.
Wow.
Kind of surprising, actually, a little bit more surprising still.
Where's your Ageplay now?
It's at 9% still. It's still at 9%.
It's better than 87.
It's better than 80. It's better than 87, but it's still not 0. Actually, I don't have a single 0. My lowest is 1 at slave. Wow.
Wow,
my rigor actually went down. It's 50 now.
Yeah, your rigor was like your second highest, wasn't it?
No, it was 51 actually, so I guess it didn't go down that much. It actually wasn't that big of a difference. It was 1%. Okay, here, hold on. I can put these
87. Whoa.
Whoa. Oh shit. Oopsies.
Oh god.
Alright, we'll put these side by side so that way we can see them. All right. So the left side is the first round. Right side is the second round. So, Ageplay versus Vanilla. My Voyeur actually went up. Okay, Voyeur went up from 71 to 75. Chaotic just got 4 zeros. Well, la-ti-da! Apparently, I have strayed the furthest from God's light. Cool.
Yes, you have.
Apparently. Alright, so Ageplay definitely went down. Voyeur went up. Vanilla from 66 to 83. That went up. Experimentalist actually went up by 5. Submissive went down. Dominant went way down. Switch from 56 to... Oh god, I don't even know where Switch is. Oh, it went to... okay, Switch went up to 78. Rigor also went down by 1%. Primal Hunter went down. Daddy Mommy went way down from 46 to 20. Non-monogamous from 42 to 32. Masochist 39 to 37. Okay. Rope Bunny 37. Wow. Rope Bunny from 37 to 8, actually. Wow. Brat Tamer went from 36 to 24. Exhibitionist, I think, went up. Yeah.
Your exhibitionist
from 33
went way up.
to 63. Oh, boy. Boy, girl, 25 to 17. Owner from 19 to 15. Degrader from 14 to 15. Wow, it actually went up. Surprising. Brat from 12. Oh, Brat stayed the same. Wow. I was actually wondering if any of them stayed the same. Sadist went up. Sadist went up by 20% from 12
Damn.
to 32. Shit. Master Mistress from 7. Wow, 7 to 20. That's 30. Wow, that's a lot. Slave went down to 1%. Hey,
which is
that.
weird because you would rather be Master Mistress.
Yeah,
okay.
I would rather be dominant rather than submissive.
Your degradee went...
Degradee from 3 to
It's
17.
Went up. What happened to respect?
It's fine. It's fine. Everything, it's covered up still. It's fine.
Even your degrader went up. You have less respect.
No, I'm the one dishing it out. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's different when I'm the one
it's
dishing it
still
out.
less respect. Okay.
It's different. Pet went up from 2 to 10, so that's an 8%. And then Primal Prey, wow, from 0 to 19.
Damn.
Jesus, I don't have a single 0.
All right, so I have I have two sets of results here, and I'll go through these quick. So my new one, 100% Switch.
Wow,
80,
really?
I don't. I'll do whatever.
Wow.
Like I'll go either way. 81% dominant.
Fuck
that
yeah, you
makes
will.
sense, huh?
What was that again? Say it again.
81% dominant. 74% rigor, 74% experimentalist, 68% submissive, 66 master mistress, 65 brat tamer, 63 non-monogamous. Emily's 65.
I like how quietly you said it.
Huh? 60% rope bunny.
You said it so quietly.
50% sadist. Sorry, 54% sadist, 50% vanilla, which is like,
wow.
yeah, like I'm dead middle on the vanilla.
Damn.
Like, I'm open to like whatever. 46% owner. Okay. 45% brat. I am not a brat.
See, that's what a brat would say.
I am offended by that.
That's what a brat would say.
39%
yeah, people watching,
degrader.
put your results in the Discord.
38% primal hunter. That's weird. 36% voyeur, 32% exhibitionist, 18% slave, 14% masochist, 12% pet. That's also weird. 9% daddy mommy, 0% Prey, Boy Girl, Degradee, or Age Player.
Wow.
So the changes were I went down by 4% in Dominant. Dominant used to be my highest. I went from 67 to 100% switch. My non-monogamous was at a 50 and it went higher. So that's good. My exhibitionist actually went higher and I thought it actually went lower. So that's cool. My voyeur went lower though too. So like that's weird. Cause I always considered them pretty much the same thing. But I mean, I guess if they're relatively in the same spot. Anyway, those are like my biggest changes.
I'm gonna make.
I thought that would be enjoyable for us. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
Love you. Don't judge me, woman.
Where just put them in. We're gonna use the NSFW text channel. Let's just do that. We'll have the NSFW.
I was actually gonna send these there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll have them be our dedicated podcast text channel. So when viewers get it doing stuff, we'll put it there. So
cool.
Put your results in the NSFW text channel.
All right.
I've already gotten rid of my previous results, so I'm only gonna put the ones that I just put.
I just took pictures of all my stuff.
Oh. Yeah, no. Alright, well, I think on that note, we're at 3 hours for the podcast.
We are.
This is a chunky episode. We talked about a lot of interesting stuff on this one, too.
We did.
But yeah, so I think that is a perfect place for us to stop. So, guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the C Plus podcast. As always, you can find a fully edited version of both Hex and myself's camera views on my YouTube channel next week. So if you want to check that out, I'll be sure to kind of link that and stuff like that. But yeah, we will see you guys next time. As always, though, my name is Shogun Shin. That is Hex Ginkgo. This is the C Plus podcast. And we will see you guys next time.
I said it that time.
Good job.
Bye.